What's up, GGWP fam? It's your favorite Fortnite commentator here, MonsterDFace, and we're back. This time, we're doing a little channel review, of course, for the GGWP Academy fam. And we have a bunch of awesome influencers, creators, and industry professionals that decided to hop on and get a little one-on-one session with us here. The way this is all going to play out is that we're going to do 20, 30-minute segments, questions, and topics that these influencers have for their own particular individual channels and or future endeavors here within the esports space. And that's the whole goal of this thing, is to bring content to you guys at home, but also to the people involved here. So first off, I want to thank every single one of you guys that did jump out, sign up. And secondly, every single one of you guys that are checking this out and of course here with us today. So to kick this thing off, we have Ty Plays, an influencer, streamer. Met this man in the Fortnite space and now he's breaking into other things, but I'm not going to speak for you, Ty. Tell the people at home who you are and why you're here today.
What's up, guys? So my name's Ty. I'm a 17-year-old streamer and content creator. I do a big variety of games, but right now kind of focusing on the Valorant scene, as it's something I really do enjoy and really see a lot of potential in. And yeah, Monster got me into the casting scene, which I've been working on a lot. Done a few jobs that he's really introduced me to, so really thankful for everything he's done for me and excited to share what happens, what goes on behind the scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, let's start there, right? Let's talk about how you broke into casting and stuff before we get into the topics, I guess, that you want to start covering on, because some of that does revolve around you as a talent in the space. So I put out pretty much an ETA to the community, similar to this one here at GGWP, was basically, hey, if you want to cast, I'll give you an opportunity to cast. You can cast alongside me and I give you one-on-ones. What was that experience like for you as a brand new talent, new caster, kind of jumping in, I guess, straight into the sea, right? With
Well, yeah, 100%. Like, I saw your tweet and I was like, oh, I'm really interested in this. I joined the Discord first day, got up there, did casting, and then I did a couple more later down the road, as well as like not official, but like a big or actual broadcast with cams on everything. And like just learning from you and getting to watch everyone else was just really great. And like, it's a good first step in the door, learning what to do so that like when you have a job and when you're trying to get jobs, having that experience is really helpful.
And that's the thing, right? When it comes down to like building and jumping into, I say, any endeavor, you just have to do it. And that's one of the, I guess, key things that you did, is you took that first step. And that first step is the most important one when it comes down to creating content, because like we all know, procrastination is real. And honestly, that'll stop most people from ever really pursuing any one individual thing. I obviously have a list here of stuff you want to talk about, and I want to kick it off from the top here. So let's jump into like the content coverage side, right? It seems like you've been having more of a difficult time and you have a tough decision when it comes down to making content and what kind of content you want to make. Is this something more like you're having a struggle with game titles, or is it like you're struggling finding your own identity as what is it that I want to do, right? Because there's so many different ways to actually create content. So I want to really boil you down to this into different layers, because I know this is going to be a topic that a lot of different people struggle with.
Well, for me, I find like I've been doing streaming and content for around 3 years now. It'll be 3 years at the end of the summer. But like the thing for me is through the first 2.5 years, I was all Fortnite related and everything like that. And I don't play the game much anymore. I don't find a lot of enjoyment in the game. So switching over to other games and like officially just making the switch, calling myself a creator in that like area, in that different title, is something that's been difficult for me, because I always see myself like, do I go back to Fortnite? Do I just take my content back to where I had my most success? Or do I just, stay where I am, keep going along the path that I want to go, and that in the long run, I feel like I'll have a better future in, kind of thing.
So that's the thing right there. First of all, I want to say this is a struggle that I think anyone that's done full-time streaming or full-time content creation, any title, will eventually hit. It's a big hurdle, right? You get this sense of pressure on your shoulders, like you said, when you start jumping into other game categories, you see your numbers go down, or things kind of what feel like slip away with it, right? The success, like you mentioned that word success. So to answer your question, the truth is, and this is someone like coming from myself, someone who's done multiple different titles successfully over the years, I use this phrase and I use it a lot, but basically in order for you to really find success in different titles, you have to think about it as you're breaking down this house that you built, this really nice house that you built, and you have
Yeah.
to rebuild a whole entire new one. So the difference is though, like for every time you break down this house and you rebuild a new one, your foundation will become more and more sturdy and it will become stronger and stronger because it's like you take one step back to take two steps forward. So um this is a really big deal for a bunch of influencers because that's where the mental hurdle of being a streamer comes into place. And honestly, man, streaming and stuff is really all just one big mental game. I would say that if you're trying to break into those other game titles, the best way for you to go about doing it is to actually do it and then retrace your steps. What worked when you were in the other titles? Was it trying to reach out to jump on, opportunities that casters were doing with their communities? Was it you pumping out educational content? Like, was it you grinding the Reddit, right? Like, what was it that was allowing you to find success in these other channel avenues and then replicate that? Because the truth is, once you have a version or a pathway to whatever small found success you already had, that thing can be replicated across multiple different titles. Like, that's like saying, if it was the volume of content you're putting out, produce the same amount of volume of content as passionately as you were for the previous title. Yes, there's a little luck involved. Yes, there's a little bit of randomness involved when it comes down to discoverability on certain platforms and whatnot. But the truth is, if you stay consistent, you stay the course, and you replicate what was successful for you before, you will most likely be able to mirror that success across other titles. So you can't let what would be those small found, I guess, steps backwards really deter you from pushing through, because you have to push through those low tides, right? There's always going to be high tides in those different game titles, and that's the honest truth. And this is coming from me,
Mhm.
who, dude, I played mobile games and then I played a different mobile game and then I jumped into PC games. And, Fortnite wasn't my first battle royale. Like, I did H1Z1, I did PUBG, I did Fortnite, right?
Yeah.
But it's through working really hard, and it's through, like I said, pumping out the same type of content that I was doing through those other game titles, right? And in turn, like, I carried over a lot of that quote unquote foundation, which is those original viewers, right? Like, and we call them OGs now, right? When you look back at the chat, it's like, man, this guy's been with me for 5 years. That's because they found me on a completely different title. They liked what I was doing then. But that doesn't mean you can't evolve, Tai Tai.
Yeah, 100. Like, and the thing that I've like realized is that if people want to watch me as a creator, they're not gonna care what game I'm playing at the time. They're not caring what title I have, like what game title I'm using at the moment. They are coming for more like the personality and the content you create. So building that foundation, like you said before, and not like switching back and forth, because when you switch back and forth is something that I've had an issue with. And it's kind of like they don't know what kind of creator you are. They don't know what to expect. So having that consistency and just knowing that it's a long game, it's not like a
Well,
short game.
I want to stop you right there, because you can be the kind of streamer that decides on the fly that this is what I'm going to play today and this is what I'm going to play today, right? That's what we call variety
Yeah.
streamers. And variety streaming is the hardest thing to, I say, be successful in, because you're going to be in these slums for a long time. But with
Mhm.
every piece of brick by brick that you build up as a variety streamer, your channel in the long run, eventually, once you overcome that, I guess, that initial like 100 viewer concurrent average threshold, or whatever average threshold that you think is going to be enough for you to continue to float and make a living,
Yeah.
you'll be in a much better place. So what I would say to actually at that, like, let's say you want to be that guy that, dude, today I want to play Fortnite, tomorrow I want to play Call of Duty, tomorrow I want to play Valorant. What you can do consistently is the way you start your show. And this is something that a
Mhm.
lot of variety streamers do very, very well. You'll notice that they all start with a very particular type of start. So the viewer is still buying into you, and what they're buying into is still consistency. That never changes. But that could be like the
Mhm.
way you open your show segment. So I would suggest you start more, especially if you want to do more variety stuff. Every time you start your stream, think about carving out a 10 to 15-minute block of the top of your show with only communicating to people that are in your chat. Let's say you're a small streamer, you don't really have that yet. Have a friend that you can jump on, have a Discord that you can chime into, maybe have a set of people that you can play with at the top of show for whatever game category you're going to be jumping into for that day, so that you're building still what matters most, which is consistency. Because at the end of the day, Tim the Tatman, Nick Merckx, any of these guys, no matter what title they're playing, they all start their streams off with
Yeah.
that very personable one-on-one and then take the direction where they're going to take it. So to have people buy
Mhm.
into you, you still have to have consistency, and that's still where they get to, again, buy into you. You can't ever leave that behind.
Yeah, 100%. And like you said, it's like a long game. It's not a short game. It's not something that happens overnight. So knowing that you will build and like grow eventually, as long as you put the effort in and put the work in, is like something that's really good to know and motivating as you're going through that whole process.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. And I saw here that you wanted to talk about how do you establish a brand, right? And I think this is all kind of really in tune with one another. All these things like legit align with one another. Let's talk about building a brand, right? Like me in particular, I go with a certain look, right? And I do certain things. So I can talk for myself, right? Like I wear my hat. Like a hat is part of the MonsterDFace brand. I wear or I
Yeah.
use the mug of the day, right? Where I pull a coffee mug out and you're like, hey, look, boom, this is gonna be the mug of the day. I don't have one here at arm's reach, so I'm doing poor branding right now. But normally I have a mug on the desk, right? These are little things that people start to single out and begin to identify with me. Branding, Tai can go very, very much further than just physical objects and appearances too. I think it also comes down to the type of content you produce, right? So like part of the Monster brand, part of what
Yeah.
I do is these educational type seminars or conversations or opportunities for people. Even the way that I produce content, right? If you look at my YouTube channel, it is loaded with either news, tips and tricks, or
Mhm.
some kind of educational content that really starts to feed
Yeah.
into your brand. I wanted to ask you, Tata, have you began, I guess, finding your identity as your brand? Like, I know you've obviously done casting, you like casting. Like, is there anything that you've kind of broken into as far as your brand goes?
So for me, I'm just actually recently I've been finishing up like my official rebrand and like what I want to do. So like I'm kind of going for that personality type thing. I don't want to be like I don't have as much fun. I don't enjoy it as much when I'm doing like how-to videos and stuff like that. So I try to be entertaining, try to do funny stuff, entertaining stuff. Kind of what I'm having trouble with like on the YouTube side is figuring out what content people want to see combined with what
Mm,
content I want to create. But I'm like overall, I can see like I look at my analytics, I review all of those, and I can see that I'm heading in the right direction. It's just that one day where you're digging and you dig in the right spot and you find what you're looking for. It's just what I'm trying to hit, what I'm trying to go towards. So for sure, you can see like if you look at that, or on my Twitch, I just have my full rebrand. It's a lot like a cloud theme. All the overlays have clouds, planes, cartoon looking, like rustic type fun look to it.
yeah.
So kind of like that uniform look, that everything. An entertaining environment is what I'm going for, and that's what I think I've been hitting the mark on. So just building off of that at this point.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, first of all, you're doing a good job, right? With at least having every like your avatar right across all your medias look all the same, having your hopefully having your handle look the same across all your medias as well, right? These are all very much important things. You want to have that uniform brand that'll help out. To talk, I kind of want to backtrack a little bit. You mentioned about YouTube, and as an influencer, you're struggling figuring out what is that people want to watch versus what it is that you want to create. Let's talk a little bit more about that. What is it that you want to create? Because I obviously this video here is like
So
you trying to get on a team. Teams can provide recognition and more of
yeah,
all great. But what is it that you want to create?
100%. And like even on that team topic, when I look at a team and what I think, like when I look at that whole topic, the issue I have is that a lot of people look at teams and stuff as a way to get more followers, but a way that I think you should look at it is more a way to meet new people, a way to connect with more people and unlock more doors for your future. Um, and what I've been trying on my YouTube is I just try to go with like some skits, and then some other fun, entertaining videos. Like one I recently did was I got a couple of my close friends and we did a try not to laugh. Or another video I'm working on is kind of like a vlog. Me and my couple of my friends, we did a few challenges up at my friend's cottage last week. So kind of that personality where people come and they look at your personality and they see, oh, this guy is. We're not here for the gameplay. We're here for the content and the entertainment. Like I'm gonna sit down. I'm bored. If I look at this video, I'm gonna get a laugh. I'm gonna enjoy myself.
You,
So
you
I'm gonna
know,
want
you know
to
what, what's
stay
the
for
hardest
more.
part for this for me is that you're splitting your brand into so many different avenues right now because the content you're producing out is not uniform across any of your medias. Your Twitch channel, you're just
Yeah.
going live playing Valorant, and then your Twitch is like, or your Twitter, all of a sudden you're like announcing your next casting gig. But I don't see any of that when I look at the Tai YouTube channel. So if someone buys into this, now when they transfer from here to your Twitch or your Twitter, they're not going to find that same reflection of you. So I think you're struggling to
Yeah.
still find who it is that you want to be and what it is that
Mhm.
you want to do. My biggest advice to you would be to niche down and like hyper niche down. And this
Yeah.
is how I grow whenever I break into a new game or a category. One of your questions here is talking about breaking into scenes or spaces that you don't have experience in. And this all again aligns with one another. It's about niching down. Like if you want to be a caster, like your YouTube channel should have those caster reels, those moments, right?
Yeah.
You breaking your best plays or whatever it is that you want to build up. Because when someone like myself, if I'm looking to hire you for like to do a cast or something like that, I need to go find your content. If I go to your YouTube channel, like, well, what's this? Is it a kid being goofy and trying to be funny? Like that's all great and all, but this is
Yeah.
not what
100%.
I'm here for. So like when it comes down to all your content that you're outputting, it also still has to have some kind of uniform story. Like you have to be telling the same thing.
Mhm.
And this is still something for you to decide, right? Like you can bring all these same
Yeah.
atmospheres to your streams or to your Twitter and stuff like that. But I think you're gonna hold yourself back, or you're gonna find it a longer road and a longer process if you don't do, I guess, the one thing at that one time, so that you can just literally like, you know, hit the anchor in the floor, right? And really nail yourself in,
Yeah.
and then use that as
100%.
your next opportunity to get to that next step. It's easier
Mhm.
if you just really hyper focus in on one thing.
Yeah, for sure. And like kind of like what you were mentioning before, when I do the Valorant content and like playing Valorant, I'm not really good at any of the games I play. So what I try to do while I'm creating the content is I have it's more you come for what I talk about in between rounds. You're not really there to watch the gameplay specifically. So when I'm going live and I'm like what I have connected between all of my socials is more the personality and like the funny moments that you see instead of just the oh, on this platform I'm playing Valorant, on this platform I'm editing a Valorant video, like something like that. But like I 100% get what you're saying with like the niche and stuff, which is definitely something I'm figuring out. Like I've been planning a ton out. I just need to, get the first step, actually create that video, create that content that I need to do to hit that stage in what I'm planning and what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, when I look at your Twitter, like some of your most successful tweets and your following now is being grown around these orgs, right? And your pursuit
Yeah.
to want to join an org and join a team, you're starting to build up a fandom. Um, that should be reflecting on your YouTube channel, minimal, right? Like video content that you're putting out that can reflect to said organization or how you can bring value to those guys through your personality. I think obviously you have a lot of the right know-hows. It's just about you implementing and putting forth those right steps. I'm looking at here. Obviously, we're starting to run close on time. We get this
Yeah.
crazy how long we can talk about each of these topics. But I want to start hitting some more stuff, and I think this is going to be an important one for anyone at home. So listen up, guys. Tai, you brought up you want to talk about how to increase your reach on YouTube and Twitch. This is a very, very important one because I think this is one that everyone wants to know how to reach more people. And you're doing it right, but you're doing it wrong. Obviously, we already know what
Yeah.
the wrong is. You're a little out there. You're doing a lot of everything. If you start
Yeah.
focusing in on one more thing, one type of thing on all platforms, it'll be a lot better. And that's the thing. All platforms. You already have a YouTube. You're being consistent. That is a big, big step that a lot of people do not have. But that is also one of the secret sauces is using these other platforms to leverage. Think of Twitch as a
Mhm.
place where the community that you're building all around you comes to hang out and join with one another. Twitch is not a platform that is really built for discoverability. So think of it as a place where you invite your friends to come play. But where do you meet your friends? In the outside world. You meet them at the basketball court, at school, or at XYZ, right? And in
Mhm.
these instances, it's at Twitter. You meet them at YouTube. You meet them on TikTok. You meet them in all these other platforms, the podcasting and stuff like that. And you house them. You bring them into yourself on your
Mhm.
Twitch platform. So it becomes easier when it's uniform, right? So when people that are finding you through YouTube come to your Twitch channel, they're buying into a certain something that you're putting out forward facing on those
Yeah.
platforms. And that's why I mean that you have to bring a more what is Tai in one way, right? On everywhere.
Yeah, like that uniform look kind of thing for sure. And one thing I didn't put there that I really think is important to talk about is how you use something like Discord, right? Because
Yeah,
Discord,
absolutely.
everybody who like plays games on PC games, FPS, everything like that, they know what Discord is. But something that's really important to your brand is building a Discord community and building connections within Discord so that people have a place to hang out when you're not creating content kind of thing. So where they actually get to know you a lot more, get to know you as a personality, get to know you as a person, and have more one-on-one conversations than if they're in a Twitch chat. A lot of time when you're in a Twitch chat, it's hard to reach out to the streamer if they are on like that bigger scale or if they are on the growing scale, because they have so many other people trying to do the exact same thing at the exact same time. So being
And,
able to have like a Discord for people that reach out and meet you is something that's like really useful.
and I was gonna say it goes beyond that, like weaving yourself, and I'm not saying leech off of other influencers, but weaving yourself into other communities and genuinely
Mhm.
becoming a part of those communities will help you grow. Like, let's be honest, you've been
Yeah.
a big part of our community lately, right? Jumping on
Mhm.
this kind of project here, jumping on when we do spotlight style, which is again a platform to have people jump on and play with one another, or when it just comes down to interacting in the chat, you can make friends in other places, which then makes them more inclined to know who you are. When it comes down to weaving yourself into communities, you have to weave yourself into those communities. That means
Mhm.
interact with those influencers, and they use the word network and all that kind of stuff, but that's really what it is, right? It's making friends, it's growing within a
Yeah.
space, it's working to your left and rights as well as working with people above and below you. I think that people need to think about this from a more humble perspective, right? The same way you
Mhm.
want to work with the next big influencer up, someone below you is looking at you as that next person that they could potentially work with to work their way up.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to, take just about every opportunity that comes to your table, and give them a shot, because at the end of the day, it's about making great content and making good content. So that's another way that you can increase your reach on YouTube, Twitch, and all these other platforms, is working with other influencers, believe it or not, even if they're the same size as you or smaller than you. Great content will cultivate great experiences, and in return, bring more people to your channel or increase your discoverability by the same people coming back for more and stuff like that. But also, to just kind of jump on the Discord topic there too. Discord is cool, man. That's definitely a way you can get personalized, I'd say, more so than a lot of the other platforms,
Yeah.
and that's a really strong tool to leverage.
For sure, like 100%. And like you said, making those connections. And you don't want to use someone, you don't want to do anything like that. But building friendships and relationships in that type of sense, they like those type of people are the people you want to surround yourself around. If you build a community or even a smaller group of a bunch of smaller creators and work together, all it takes is could be one of your videos blowing up, and then all of a sudden you have everybody from everyone else's videos funneling together into a group of all of you and stuff like that. So just know that you don't always have to work with the largest creators in order to build your brand.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, listen, Ty, it was awesome having you on. Obviously, this was
Yeah.
a sick conversation back and forth, and we can continue to do this. And I hope to see you again, obviously, in the future. And I want to see you put this
For
stuff
sure.
to use more importantly, right? I think there's a lot of like little different things that we kind of nitpicked out of these conversations that you can absolutely start to build your foundation on. And I want to leave this with you. Don't be afraid to try new things. I think a lot of people are afraid of
Yeah.
failure. There's no such thing as failure, man. Just get out there and go for it, right? And trust me, people want to be around people that are doing cool stuff. And a lot of the times, those crazy ideas you have are quite literally the cool stuff that you need to just go try and go do. Trust me, get out there and do that.
Yeah.
Either which way, Tai, let people at home know where they can find you, because we have some other awesome people we're going to be bringing on here soon.
Yeah, so if you guys do want to check me out, I am Tai Plays on all platforms, kind of like just what my name was. And just thank you so much to Monster and GDWP for hosting this. This is awesome. Have a nice night, guys. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you, Tai. Man, guys, listen, shout out to Tai hopping on here, jumping on, of course, and giving us the nice one-on-one bunch of things he talked about, man. Decision making with content. I think that's one of the biggest takeaways you can do right there at the top of the show. That fear of influencers jumping into other titles is something that a lot of us have. I had as a personally, right, when I was starting many years ago. 2012 is when I kind of began this whole thing. We could go about my history a whole different day, but when I started in 2012, man, it was just that. Like, it was me in a game title, and I found success. But when I was done with that game, I had to find ways to move on. And talking about moving on, we have our next person hopping on. It's the big Techo. Techo, I want to give you the floor to let people at home know who you are, what it is that you do in this space, and why you're here to kind of talk with this one-on-one. There you go. Hold up. I think Techo's sorting out his audio really quickly here. We want to make sure we hear that lovely sound from Techo. Just do a double check, Techo, if you want to do a little mic check while the producer in the back is getting you all sorted. And that will be really helpful for all of us here. But soon, guys, we'll have his audio line coming through, and then we should be good. So there we are. What's up, Techo? Let's run this back, man.
What's going on, man? I appreciate it. My name's Techo. I work in esports, and I just started streaming recently. And I'm just trying to get a little better in the content creation zone, and just try to spread some joy in the video game industry.
Yeah, no, that's really awesome. I mean, you're already kicking this off a little differently, right? Like, you're starting off with your mission. You want to bring joy. You want to bring. You have something that you're working towards for your community. Is this something that you're already weaving into your community, or is this something that you kind of hold in the back of your mind and you're still trying to figure out how to put that out to the world?
Yeah, I'm definitely still trying to figure out how to put it out to the world, because there's a fine line that I have to walk of what I can and can't talk about normally. So I have to be easy about that, but at the same time, I enjoy talking about esports events and the industry, and kind of bringing to light competitive gaming as a whole. And I like to try to be a little competitive on my end as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think we all love being competitive. So where do we begin? Let's see here. Obviously, some of the stuff you wanted to talk about, it looks like revolves a lot around YouTube and, kind of your personality as someone who's just jumping in, I would say, as a more new streamer into the space. And how do you kind of wrap this all up and bring it to your social medias like Twitter and everything else, right? Does that about make sense, kind of what you're trying to target here?
Yeah, it's super accurate. So I'm definitely looking at this from a new lens, someone who hasn't done too much at all. I just made my first YouTube video recently, and
nice.
Definitely new to all of this, but loving it and enjoying it a lot. So
okay, yeah. Robbie, can we pull up maybe his YouTube video that he has just done? Is this the YouTube video right here, Techo? Is this like a montage you put together?
Yeah, this is a little montage of all the snipes that I've had over the years playing Warzone. I guess the year since the game just came out a year ago. But I don't know. My friends always hype me up whenever I get great shots, so I figured I'd throw some of them together and just see how it fared.
Okay, so I want to take this a step further. I think you've already done a great job weaving together a video. That right there is a skill set that people. Did you pay someone to do this? You did it yourself?
I did this myself. I downloaded Creative Cloud and just went after it.
That's what I was gonna say. So tip number one, guys, don't be afraid to first off learn it yourself. No one's gonna bring your vision to life better than you are going to bring your vision. And not only that, you're gonna be passionate about it. So that's number one. And it'll save you a lot of money in the long run. Now, when we talk about expansion and scaling, you need an editor, all that kind of stuff. That's a different thing. But I want to jump into the back end. What was the title of this video? And more importantly, did you do your SEO homework, your search engine optimization homework for this?
Yeah, so definitely did not do what I should have done on that front, because I'm new to the whole content creation game as a whole. So to me, it's like I'm just gonna put it up there and throw it on my Twitter and hope that it catches on, right? So being new to this,
I was gonna say, trust me, it will never catch on if you just hope, if you don't set the video up for success. So let's start right there. Let's go to square one. Setting up your content for success. When it comes down to YouTube, man, YouTube is a very particular type of game. I know we've all heard the saying, don't hate the player, hate the game. Well, YouTube is a big game, and you have to play the game that is YouTube. We all throw around the words clickbait. We all throw around the words, like those type of words, right? Eye-catching thumbnails and those things, big red text arrows, right? All the cliche things. There's a reason why these things work. It's about grabbing attention and being able to retain the attention from the user coming in. One thing I noticed about your video off the gate was that you recycled your starting soon screen from your Twitch channel, which that your video should never start soon. How many times do you open a video and you want to skip that advertisement? Think of the start of your video as you just put an ad on top of the ad that was already there before they got to your video. So that is like automatic. You're probably infuriating the guy coming in to watch your sniper shots, right? So cut the fat. Cut the fat when it comes down to YouTube. This is going to be one of the biggest things you can do on all your videos. If you are saying too much, less is more on YouTube. That is the truth of it. If you look at my intros to my videos, they have gotten shorter and shorter over the years, but it's because you really when you start looking at the metrics, it is about cutting the fat, and you can see where people exit. That's the really cool thing about YouTube. You will literally see the dips in retention. You'll see where people kind of hop around and maybe spike up. And this will get better as you become a better influencer and grow over time. And secondly, I wanted to say there was no personalization at the top of your videos. And even if you are going to recycle montages or stream clips, that's okay. Repurposing content is absolutely fine. You want to repurpose content on all your platforms, but you want to make each platform's content also specific to that platform. And sometimes you have to go the little extra step. And for YouTube, I'm sorry to say it, you're going to have to film an intro for all of those. Like, it's probably going to suck, right? But trust me, those extra 30 seconds, a minute that you take just to, what's up guys, Techo here, and just set the stage, man. Lay it out for everyone. You really want to set the stage for these people at home. There's a reason why I'm going to refer to Nick Merckx here. Nick Merckx goes, YouTube, right? He puts on this thing. He calls him out. He points at the camera and he does all this stuff. It's intentional. He sets the stage and then he just recycles stream gameplay. There's nothing special about what he's doing. He's repurposing content just like everyone else. But his difference is he's putting in that little extra pep. And if someone like Nick Merckx can do it, who's at the top of the pyramid here, he's doing it for a reason. And that's where people like ourselves and you influencers, if we start off doing it right, you'll find success and you'll grow faster in the long run. So that's just like, again, this is all surface level stuff. And I know it's a lot to take in, but it's all very much true, right? It's about optimizing your time and working smarter, not harder. The sooner you start to put in these practices and make this more of a norm for yourself, the better it's going to be for you in the long run. And then, like I said at the start of this, search engine optimization. I love to target search words. So if you want to really learn what search words are buzzing, write Call of Duty and then let YouTube give you the recommended for the rest. Those recommendeds are what people are searching quite literally out of their engine. So if it's montage featuring, I don't know, deadly snipes, like your title for your next video, the deadliest snipes in Call of Duty, you know what I mean? Play into those niches that are the search engine optimizations, because that's what people are searching for. Those are where you want to start ranking your videos in, so you can start funneling into that ecosystem so you can get more views and leverage the audience that way.
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense. And just to go back to what you were saying before about the intro specific to YouTube too. Do you think it's important to have a specific intro for each individual video that introduces the video? Or do you think it's more important to have something generalized for your channel specifically?
I mean, here's the deal. You want your own personal touch, because when someone comes back to your YouTube channel, you don't want them to think, oh, it's just another techo thing. Skip 10 seconds. YouTube will take those 10 seconds and work them against you. So I would say definitely talk about it, right? Talk it out. Even if it's the same words, you're wearing a different shirt today, you've aged a little more, your beard looks a little different. Sure. You know what I mean? You're going to change, you're going to grow. And then when you look back in the future, you're going to appreciate like all the different freaking hats you wore, because oh man, I forgot to own that one, right? Or it's wintertime, man, look, I look sick. Like whatever, dude. Like, trust me, you will appreciate it. And then also, your setup is going to evolve, right? Today it's all foam background and you're looking all soundproof out, but who knows? You're going to wake up one day and probably want LED lights. Like, that's just what people do, right? So yeah, I would say get into the habit of making a recording for each one. And you can also set the stage differently for some of them, right? Not every video you're going to make from here to the future is going to be a montage. So I'd say definitely work on all of them being different.
Yeah, for sure. That makes a lot of sense. And, you talked a lot about kind of using the search engine optimization for reach and everything like that. So how does that correlate over to Twitter and trying to increase the reach on Twitter too?
See, so Twitter's a different kind of reach, right? It has a different type of algorithm. I find that Twitter, the best way to grow is to find ways to basically invoke interaction from other people. And sometimes that could just be jumping into a discussion, right? And this is the thing. Like, I know you kind of want to keep your personal life out of like your Twitter life, right? And that's okay. You can build a new persona, right, on Twitter and be your new, Techo, the influencer there. But if you're going to do that, you also have to inject yourself in those communities. If Call of Duty is your game, you need to be reacting to Nick Merck's tweet. You need to be sharing influencers' tweets. You need to be using your platform as a hub to funnel content through, but also out and interacting, right? So why should anyone like your tweet if you're not going out there and supporting them? That's really how people feel, right? You want your back scratched, you got to scratch other people's backs. That's just kind of like how it works on Twitter. And once you start to do that, you'll build a little community. That's where people start commenting, notification gang. And, those are the guys you should genuinely start to appreciate and start to interact with. And you'll find them all over the place. Like, so like just on Twitter in general, definitely inject yourself in those Call of Duty communities. Find small streamers that you like, that you want to like work with or play with, and hang out in their chats. It may feel like, man, I want to be using my time to play, but it's equally as important raising your visibility just on a communication level with other streamers, because the only way they're going to know about you in this huge pool of other people is to somehow end up swimming right alongside them and, strike up a conversation and stuff. And that's how you grow organically. For sure.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, definitely. And I guess that kind of goes into what I was going to talk about next too, which was the consistency, right? And I feel like you need to be present on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter all consistently to continue that growth. So what would you say is a good consistent schedule to kind of touch on all three of those points?
Yeah, so like, man, each of these platforms, they work a little differently, right? So YouTube would be by far the one that you can have the most inconsistencies with and still strike a growth pattern out of. And that's because the way YouTube works, and it's my favorite platform because your content lives forever and it generates you passive income. Think about that. I dropped a video a year ago. It's still up there funneling, whatever little hits that it gets. But that's the thing. It's passive income. Whereas Twitch, if you're not live and if you're not there, your shop is closed. Like, no one's going to Twitch to go watch your VOD. I'm telling you right now. Like, if you are not LIVE, your store is shut down. And that's what unfortunately breeds this. I think it's a toxic habit of binge streaming. And binge streaming is actually one of the worst things you could do as a new streamer, because you're putting out tons of content to no one most of the time as a new streamer, right? Very little hits, very little people, very little traction. And it makes it hard to be in those spots because it could get boring or it can be frustrating, right? You're trying to figure out, like, how do I get to the next level? It's working in reverse, streaming less and using more time to edit those videos, string together dope stuff, and then putting it out. So I say pump outwards more content and recycle a lot of what you do on stream, because if you're not recycling any of that stream content, it is going to straight waste, because it's going to sit in that VOD archive and it's never going to be tapped into again.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense for sure. And it's, it's something that I've been struggling with internally, is like, I have this weight where I need to create this crazy intricate schedule that I'm streaming. And, I play World of Warcraft on Tuesdays and Sundays for my raid, right? Like, that's my schedule for WoW. And then beyond that, I'm playing some Warzone. And beyond that, I'm playing a little bit of Magic Arena. So I'm definitely a variety streamer, but I always kind of kick myself because I'm like, oh, I should have streamed for an extra half hour. But I guess it makes sense that, maybe if I use that half hour to create a better intro for a YouTube video, that'd be much better, right? Better time use.
Dude, 1,000,000%. Like, you should never be salty if you get offline. If anything, you should be proud of yourself. You jump off and then crank a video out of the stream you just did, and then pull a clip to throw up on TikTok and recycle it for Twitter. That's you working hard. That's you grinding. That's you getting your stuff out on the Reddits or whatever and increasing your discoverability. Think about it this way. How many views did, let's say, your YouTube video get, like your sniper montage video?
Yeah, I got like 80 views in 2 weeks.
How many?
80.
80. But that's 80. That's 80 clicks. And I'm telling you, it's probably 10 times more clicks than your one stream that you did, right? Like, in those 2 weeks, like, literally, because YouTube works like that. Like its algorithm is designed to put stuff out there and see how people respond to it. And if that video didn't click, that's okay. Don't let that discourage you, because the next one, just make it a little better. Cut the fat a little more, tighten it up. Introduce that new intro like we talked about. Change up the thumbnails. Add search engine optimization. And trust me, you do those little things, your next video is without a doubt minimal going to double, if not triple, if not quadruple those views that you already pulled. You pulled 80 views with nothing. You didn't set that video up to succeed at all. You just put together some cool clips and then that's it. Threw it off the roof, dude. And it's going to hit the floor. It has no wings. It's got no gas in the tank, right? Like it can only get so far. So trust, if you take the content that you're already doing on and stream a little less, like you mentioned, but put in the extra work, and it's work because it's not fun at first, but it becomes very rewarding once it starts to come back to you. And then of course, find ways to, like I said, inject yourself, put yourself in those conversations, be a point of someone who people want to conversate with. There's not that many intellectuals on Twitter. Like really think about it. It's a bunch of toxic dudes, right? If you really look at those comments, us streamers and other influencers, you want to genuinely have a good conversation with someone when it comes through, because those are kind of rare to find. And you look like you have a good head on your shoulders. You're here, obviously. So sometimes that's all it takes, man. Putting yourself out there and jump, inject yourself, man. Make your voice be heard.
Yeah, definitely. I'll have to do that more and just kind of be more active. And then that kind of leads into the kind of last topic as a whole, right? Which is whenever I do pull people onto my Twitch, how can I keep them there, right? How can I keep them engaged, chatting? Are chat commands important in Twitch, right? Like what should I do?
So every streamer is a little different. I think the best way for new streamers to really jumpstart and kick it off, invite them to come play with you. Like host customs, be the host of the party. Like think of in high school, the cool guy's the guy that throws all the parties and parents aren't home and you're there. You're the center of where we're gonna hang out. Be the center of where you're gonna hang out. Run squads with these guys, open customs, try to fill up lobbies, or join into other people doing customs and stuff, and start to mingle into these communities. So now when you're streaming, you're not really streaming alone. You're playing customs with other streamer who might be a lot bigger than you, but that's okay. You're injecting yourself into that community, hanging out in their Discord, striking conversations with their viewers, but in turn, it becomes your community too. You get to grow with them. And I say this, do it organically, right? Like, of course, none of our intention is to go on there. There's no such thing as stealing viewers or like, don't be malicious with it. Walk in this chat, yo, follow me, Techo187, dude, this guy sucks. Like, don't be that guy. Just be the guy like, yeah, you so happen to be streaming, you're hanging out, and you're doing this for your own content as much as it is theirs. Because at the end of the day, if you hypothetically play in, Joe Blow's stream and your video pops off through Joe Blow's stream customs, well, Joe Blow grows too. So it works out for both of you guys and vice versa. So I say, if you can't be the kind of the host of the party, join parties, go to parties, get out there.
Yeah. Do you think there's a good way to find parties like that, right? Is it through Twitter? Is it through just hopping in other people's Twitch streams? What's the best way to find other like-minded people?
So Twitch has a little search feature. Every game's a little different, but like if you on Fortnite, for example, wrote customs, solo customs, it'll just load up people that are hosting customs, and then all of a sudden you have a place to jump into. So same thing for Call of Duty. You can just search up Call of Duty customs, and it'll load like Anthony456 is hosting games, and this is what he does every Saturday. And now all of a sudden you can build a routine into some of his stuff, and it gives you something to do. Having events, having stuff planned, having cool stuff to kind of show up to is definitely a great way, like I said, for new streamers in particular, to really get in there and just mingle into people's communities. As much as you would appreciate if you put out a call to action and someone joined you, they appreciate it even more, because now they get to, again, be on that receiving end. Same like me, right? Talking from experience, like when you reached out and you say you want to jump on it, I was like, yo, dude, dope, right? Because this is what we hope for, to resonate with people and have people jump on. And now look, now you're in front of our audience here that I invited through Twitter, or whoever's going to see this in the future. This is you putting yourself out to the world, but you took the initiative. Subconsciously, little did you know, you came here for advice and like help, and maybe to fancy, shake your brain a little bit on some of these topics. But it's also now a platform of yours for discoverability too. And this works the same way either which way.
Yeah, for sure. That all makes a lot of sense. And I think, just being active on multiple fronts is going to be most important.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have you considered when's your next YouTube video, or is that something like you just did just to kind of throw it out there, or are you are you putting more effort into your Twitch than you are your YouTube right now?
Yeah, definitely. So I stream definitely more often than I post on YouTube since I only have
Wrong.
one video on YouTube. Definitely
Okay.
wrong. But I think one thing that's hard for me, right, is I have that sniping montage. I snipe a lot. Like my friends know me as the person in the squad that snipes. So it's like I can only do so many sniping montages. So I guess for me, it's figuring out
That's not true.
Yeah. So it's like figuring out what can I do. I don't know, right?
Well, it's actually not true. Like, there are channels out there that like literally do the same thing over and over. But that's just the community that you want to build. Like, if you do nothing but montages, dude, montage channel, they pop off. But it's because they're dropping a bunch of montages. So it might feel repetitive to you and your brain, but think about it this way: the 80 viewers that you reach through this YouTube algorithm this time, it's not going to be the same people. Why do you think clickbait channels will clickbait the same topic over and over? And somehow, how did all of them get 300,000 views? It's not the same guys, trust me. It's literally a whole bunch of different people every time it gets shared out to the world, and the very few concurrents that will come back. So with YouTube in particular, and the way it comes to pumping out content, it might feel like self-consciously repetitive, but it really isn't, because you're always hitting a new audience. Now, if your Twitch channel is so happen to be the same thing, where like, dude, I'm rapping the same song every day, and I'm doing now that will catch on. Your community will tune out eventually. And, you know, when it comes down to Twitch and as you start to grow, you want to be flexible. That's why streamers do streamathons, and they torture themselves, and they, you know, do all these weird things, right, to keep it interesting, because you have to at those points. But with YouTube is the opposite. You can do the same exact things and get away with it. And I think the most extreme examples, in my opinion, in gaming is the channels that do beginner tips and tricks. What do you mean you're teaching the same top 5 trash, most basic, here's how you turn on your Xbox, tips and tricks, to the same people? Impossible. It's new people needing the same information. So another good gem for you to think about there.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged from making the same type of content, because it doesn't exist on YouTube. It's really good, if anything, on YouTube.
If it hits, right?
Yeah, and if it hits, it funnels the next one, and then the next one hits. And that's really how it works. You want the same topics to do really well for yourself.
Yeah, that's great advice. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no doubt. If there's anything else, Techo, now's the time to throw it on the table, man.
No, I think I'm all set. I think that's all stuff that I'm excited to work on. I'm super pumped to start, creating those intros on the front end of my YouTube videos and pumping out more content.
Dude, I'm telling you, the moment you slap an intro on to the beginning of your YouTube, you're gonna look like a professional. Like, just look at the barrel of the camera, talk to that thing confidently, keep it tight and sweet about what's coming up next, and then play that junk and watch. It's the next person that sees it, like, damn, bro, when did Techo like become a YouTuber? That's what they're gonna think, right? Either which way, guys, don't forget to check out at Techo187 on social medias. And of course, what's your Twitch channel, Techo, before we let you go?
Techo.
Techo on Twitch. One thing I'd say, try to get all your handles the same.
It's a struggle.
Be also helpful. All right, Robbie, talk to me. Do we have our next up? I think we got F-Cut coming up here soon, ladies and gentlemen. I want to shout out to everyone, of course, in the chat right now. Thank you guys for being here. This is not necessarily the type of content that we're making, us talking to chat, but if you guys at home are interested in this kind of stuff, definitely make sure you're doing what you need to do to check out GGWP Academy. Maybe find yourself involved and maybe jump on here and get your own type of one-on-one. But next up, we have an awesome person, a part of our community actually at the Monster Fam, is that boy F-Cut. And it looks like F-Cut's been, I'd say, a part of the scene for a while, but new to me that you're trying to break into content. So let's get F-Cut up on the stream here soon. And when he does, yes, there he is. F-Cut, what's up, man? Talk to me, brother.
Hey, Monster. Thanks so much for having me on here. It's such a pleasure to be a part of this. This is fantastic. I figured I'd sign up. It's been a long time since I actually streamed, so I assume that a lot of things have changed in the last couple of years. So I figured I'd just have all my questions ready and see how you can help me out.
I mean, listen, first off, absolutely. Thank you for signing up. Thanks for hopping on. Before we get into your questions, let's talk about why is it that you haven't been streaming, man? What's been holding you back, or why now?
I changed jobs, and so
Okay.
with that, it required more attention. I got a family of 5 here, so we're a big family. It's a struggle to find time. So now with the the stresses of COVID and everybody being at home, I set up my rig today. I got everything ready, and
Mm.
I went through my channel and I updated some stuff, and I figured, you know what, there's no better way for me to get out there than to interact with the world. So just gonna get it going again.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and you're really doing that. You're jumping yourself in knee deep here. So let's go. I want to start from the top, man. It looks like one of the more, I guess, important things you're trying to look at is breaking into the casting community. Is this something that you think you might just have a knack for, or is this something that you've maybe just think, hey, man, that's really a cool way to go about breaking into the esports?
I watch a lot of the games that I like Fortnite. I watch a lot of. Sorry, I watch a lot of that. I also got a dog. Sorry about that one. But and when I'm watching those casters and they're saying some stuff, and I'm thinking about it from different angles, I feel like my opinion could help out with that. Set other people up for success. I talk all day for a living, so talking for me is pretty straightforward. I just feel like maybe I should get my voice out there, my perspective on things, and I just don't know how to break into that community or like find an avenue into that. And I know that you did that. You started off small. I remember you playing like way back.
Yep.
So, I'm just trying to see how you did that and how I can replicate that work and have that translate into something where I could possibly work with some professional casters at some point.
Yeah, no, listen, first off, I love that. I love that. I like that you have the mentality of like, kind of like, hey, if he did it, then you can do it too. And that's the honest truth, right? That's how I got to where I was. I mean, I saw Summit streaming on Twitch. And I'm like, listen, if this dude could do it, like I could definitely do that. And I went out and just tried to achieve it with no guidance. I'd say you have the leg up in this instance. So yeah, I'll tell you a little bit more about my story, and then we can relate it how times have changed a little bit, but how this is really still something that you can do too, right? In the too long don't read version of my story, I took an opportunity, and I never really turned down opportunities that were presented to me. I saw every one of them as, hey, you never know where it can go. And eventually that led me from one place to another place, which then gave me opportunity to be in front of people to cast, which even then I didn't know I was going to end up liking it, let alone get good at it, right? Through hard work and hard effort. The same thing can play out for you now in the present time. The opportunities are going to present themselves differently, this being one of them, right? But this will lead you to get to the next opportunity, right? So I'd say, and this is something that I don't think you do very often, but I think you need to branch out more into other influencers in the community, right? I don't know how much other Fortnite guys you watch or how much more Fortnite content you actually consume from the consumer perspective, but it's equally as important. When I see someone like Tai Tai, who was just here today, interacting with us, I also see Tai Tai interacting with the next small streamer that I bring onto my channels too, because he's doing that kind of intermingling and just weaving himself into the community, into the caster community. And you use that word, casting community. It is a community. There's not many of us. It's so easy for you to say, yo, somebody's gun. I saw you today, man. You're jumping up next on the, you know what I mean? Strike up those conversations, break into those relationships with these other influencers in the space. I may be at the top, but I'm still at an arm's reach. Look how quick it was for us to jump on here, right? Through us knowing one another, exactly, through us interacting with each other in the past, right? So I'd say for you to break into the casting community, first off, get to know the casters, get to know all of them, get to know their styles, get to know your style, and how you can, when you get your opportunity, bring something different to the table, because you sometimes only have that one true shot to really impress people, and you have to be ready when it presents itself. And if you haven't already been thinking about those kind of things and preparing yourself for that situation, when you get out there, you're either going to sound like someone who's just replicating everyone else, and that's a dime a dozen, or you're going to sound like someone that, man, is this guy prepared? Where the hell is this dude this whole time? Whoa, like, right? New fresh breath of air. We needed that. Like, be that guy. Be that guy. And some people are those guys, and those are where those dudes break out, and they just find, chance after one shot is all it took. And I was that guy. I was that guy that brought a different perspective, my perspective. And I didn't want to be someone else's perspective when I had my chance. So that's why I got more chances. And you can do that for yourself too.
Okay, that's great advice. Great advice. Be yourself.
Oh, yeah. And it's just more than that, right? Like, do the homework. Like I said, look at what everyone else is doing. And if there's something that you like from that guy, you can weave that into yourself. But just remember, when you get that chance up there, don't be someone else. be your own version of what it is that you want to put forwards in the best way. I think you have a super slick sounding voice, man. I can see you up there already, kicking and grooving right on the main stage, man. But breaking into those casting scenes, breaking into those communities, getting to know those casters, I think is going to be the awesome, perfect first step for you, right? And then from there, I'd say step number 2, man, is you got to make the content. You say you want to do cast or something like that. Have you filmed anything? Have you thrown anything out to the world? You gotta, yeah, you gotta be that guy next, right? So as hard as you're gonna work to try to build a relationship, maybe jump on a stream, maybe work with someone on something, or just strike up a conversation for a little podcast, recording a YouTube video, whatever. You need to also be that guy that's gonna film something. Do it shamelessly too. You're gonna be bad at it. You might be great at it. Who knows? You know what I mean? Let the public be your first critics, and take every response with a grain of salt. But know that if you take some of it and weave it in, you keep trying to improve until you get to somewhere you like. Someone's gonna catch notice, man. Someone's gonna give you a shot.
Okay. All right, that's great advice. I'm definitely going to reach out on my Twitter profile. I haven't really been on that too much. Just tweeted out first time in a while. Like I said, just been tied up with life, right? So I'm ready to do this, and I've been jotting down your tips, and I even picked up some other ones from the previous 2 that you already did. So I think this is going to go great. I really appreciate you giving me some advice on that one. I'm going to definitely sort that one out.
Yeah, no, listen. And the thing about it, man, if you want to break into Fortnite, dude, Fortnite is evergreen right now. Like, I could list the 5 like tier 1s on my hand. That's a problem. You know what I mean? There's so much space here. The game is still new. Like, everyone thinks Fortnite's dying, it's old. It is so evergreen fresh, and the way they evolved the game and where they're building out the talent. Like, we're seeing new talent break into FNCS cast like every single couple months, man. We just had Vivid jump on for the first time. Somebody's Gun just did his first dream hack. Levin's new to the FNCS broadcast just this week. The fact that I can name them is because we don't have a lot of people breaking into the space, and the space desperately needs people with sharp minds, slick tongues, and the eagerness and the hunger to get better and be themselves and improve, right? Trust me, especially in Fortnite. And there's not a lot of opportunities like this. And I look at esports as the Wild Wild West. You don't need a degree in communication, but shoot, if you got it, you're so far ahead of, you know what I mean? Like, how many other people, right?
I got that. Yeah. That it's totally great to hear you say these things and hear the things that worked for you. And this is the tried and true method, and just got to make sure you buckle down and do these things. I'm definitely going to take your advice, and you're definitely going to see a change on my Twitter, on my YouTube. You're going to see it for sure.
Yeah, good. I mean, listen, Ty's going a route, like, he was just up here. He was going a route where he wants to be more of like an influencer. You saw he's leaning more towards, he wants to be that funny guy, and he's got the animated profile and all that stuff. Like, where I see F Cut, mature gentlemen want to break into casting, profile photo yourself, get a nice professional shot or something like that. Clean, right? Nice, strong bio about yourself, place to contact you. You know how many people in this esports space don't have a genuine place to go contact people? Like, have a place for people to contact you. Your YouTube channel could just be reels of casting work that you're doing, but say, hey, I'm an amateur caster trying to break into the space. Here's where you can find some of my casting stuff to track my improvement throughout the, whatever. Shape it up how you want it to be very much honest with yourself and with the platform, and have content there. Because if an opportunity comes to your platform, to your bio, to your profile, and they go looking through, that's your resume right there. Like, Twitter today is your resume. No one sends resumes to nobody. Twitter is your resume. What is this guy saying? Who's he saying it to? And what kind of stuff he's putting out there? That's how we know who you are now. You can't hide who you are anymore, right? Yep. Am I wrong on this one, or like, this is facts?
Yeah, that's facts. Everybody puts their dirty laundry out on any social media, so that's fantastic. I totally hear you on that one.
It's how I recruit people. How I recruit people. Like, I look at it like, all right, hey, this guy wants to cast for me. He wants to be a part of the practice server project. All right, let's see what he's got. I go to his YouTube. I look at it. I go to his Twitch channel. How's he communicating to the chat? Is he a toxic kind of guy? Like, and if you're out there, you're promoting, X, Y, Z, I'm like, yeah, this guy's scummy or like whatever. Like, I'm not going to work with that guy, period. Right. But that's also why I also carry myself the way I carry myself. Right. I no profanity really on my Twitters. Right. Channel, very seldomly. We promote a work-friendly environment. We keep it clean. We keep it positive. We do things in the way that when someone comes back and they look at me, I want that perception to be like, This guy's about his business, man. He owes a zero BS, kind of tolerance here. And you know what? At the end of the day, he has fun in his own kind of way. And we like that about him, right? But it's business. It's always business, professional foot forwards. We wasn't always like this. And you know that, FK, you've watched me evolve over the years. But it's because I've learned the space, man. I really got comfortable with myself and what I want to be and reflect that outwards. And you're coming in fresh. You're coming in as someone who's just now starting to put together your image, right, for what will be your online persona. Because trust me, if you keep doing this, the FCO we see chilling back right now, bub, you're gonna be, you're gonna be in a whole different place next time. And it really is. And I think you have a cool name too, by the way. Just like FCO is sick.
Thanks. I appreciate that. That's nice. I was gonna ask if you think that I should change my name. Like all my socials and stuff are the same. And I'm already, that's the kind of thing that I built. So I was gonna ask if you think that I should rebrand my my name.
No, man, I like FCut. I'm a big fan of it. I think it's a slick name. It's a unique one. And yeah, there's no super popular guy named Cut or anything, right? At the moment. Right. So yeah, you're good. You're good to be who you want to be right now, and it's unique to you. And you've had it for a long time. You could be comfortable in that. This again, the only thing you haven't built yet is the FCut persona. Like, who are you going to be when you start building up who it is that you are? What kind of
all consistent, right? That's what I picked up earlier too. You got to make sure that your Twitch and your YouTube and all your channels, everything that you put out, you got to interact with the camera like Nick Merckx, or you got to, do those small little things where you can interact with people. So I took that away as well. I've been writing notes this whole time. So.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is my just one-on-one kind of kicking with you vibe. But when I'm in show mode, I'm all hands and you know what I mean? You become animated, you become a showsman. That's what talent is all about. That's what being charismatic on-air personality is about. Because you have to sell yourself, man. In these remote settings, it's so much harder, right? Like, how do I really sell myself through the camera? You got to learn how to, you know what I mean? Like, that'll come over time. You start working it. But I think those are just many steps away. The most important thing that's going to really get you your first gig or get you your first opportunities, you're going to see your most interesting versions of exposure and growth. You're going to be making that content, putting it out there. Like, dude, Reddit loves hearing people do them, right? Try their own stuff. And you may be, rejected at first or whatever, but my method of work is be so much involved in so many different places, like everywhere. You can't be ignored. Like, just be everywhere. You can't even ignore this guy. If you don't like him, people probably don't like me, but it's like, this guy's everywhere, man. You can't avoid me. Eventually you're just gonna have to give me a shot, or you know what I mean? You're gonna have to deal with it. It's one or the other. So if you're not putting out content to the point to where people just can't not see your content, then you have more to do. You have more avenues to hit.
All the content that I make, like I know that Twitter and Reddit and like TikTok, those all have different time limits and different types of audiences. So do you think that all of them should be different or tailored specifically to those platforms for those types of viewers?
I personally, I am very much about catering the content to the platform. My Twitter content is Twitter content. I could post the same photo on Twitter and Instagram. They will very, very, very highly likely have two different captions, because like my Twitter caption is going to be something that is going to try and invoke like some kind of reaction or response or maybe a share out of, as opposed to like my Instagram post is going to be more of like a div, a bio, something that's going to, because there's no sharing on Instagram, right? It's very, very different. And for TikTok, for example, what does well in there, make people laugh. People are there for entertainment. They don't want your gloominess. They don't want your pop up. Like, they want to be entertained. So if it's not funny, if it's not like hyper crazy, like, you know what I mean? Entertainment. I find that it doesn't do as well in there, or like some kind of real nifty trick, which, I'm not teaching anyone how to fold their towel. Like, you know what I mean? Mad unique to save crazy closet space. Like, you know what I mean? Those are the things I'm watching. Like, oh snap! Like,
it works, man.
That's the stuff my wife's bringing back. Like, babe, did you see you can use a fork to clean the inside? I didn't know that. Clever, right? Like,
no, yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome.
So yeah, definitely cater your content. Cater the content to the platform, man. We just gave Taco that little bit of advice, right? I noticed off the rip when he pulled up his VOD on YouTube, he recycled his Twitch starting now. I was like, bro, that same 10 seconds you just played starting soon, cut that and be 10 seconds of you. What is this video about? set the stage, play the video, right?
Okay.
That's you can't skip those crucial parts on YouTube. It will fail if you didn't do them, right? And it's the same thing for other platforms. Certain platforms, there's this very unique thing that you got to hit, man. If you don't hit, your stuff is gonna flop, and you're gonna keep wondering, man, what am I doing wrong? I'm putting it out there, I'm trying, but you got to work smarter. You got to optimize and build for the platforms, man. And you could learn a lot from the people that are succeeding, and just seeing what it is that they're doing that's different than the people that are different than your stuff. Not be them, but be the concept. Take the concept.
Perfect. Yeah. That's awesome.
What else do we have here? So we just went on like just a long, right? So we have a lot of topics here. You wrote a couple other cool stuff down. Do hashtags really work? Is this something like are you asking from like a Twitter perspective, or what do you think about just in general?
Well, I know like on TikTok, hashtags are like legit. You don't have a hashtag, your video's going nowhere. I have my Twitter account for quite some time now, but I find that, hashtags really don't do it in the Twitter space. What do you find works in that kind of world to help make your views just blow up? Your videos get like hundreds, sometimes thousands, tens of thousands of views. How do you do that?
Yeah, so YouTube or Twitter, excuse me, Twitter actually does have like an algorithm with phrases and words. So in particular, Twitter is a little different. This is something people don't really talk about, but Twitter is very topic based and topic related. If I put the word Fortnite or Epic Games in that tweet, I'm getting into those topic searches of people that follow Epic Games and Fortnite. So believe it or not, it's not really hashtags. Instead, it's more like topic based. So Twitter is very unique when it comes into tapping into their algorithm. And it works a little bit more for someone like myself because my name's a little bit more recognizable, right? Because I've done a lot of stuff in the space. So they see Monster, like, oh, like, man, that's that caster guy, right? Or whatever, however they know me. So they're more likely to maybe give my tweet a little more attention. But to the same token, I see new tweets all the time pop up on my feed. They're talking about, man, Epic Games, that word, Epic Games, just released new skin. I'm like, who is this guy? And why is he on my timeline? But it's like, you like Epic Game stuff. Is this something that you want to see? You know what I mean? That's Twitter trying to tell me. So when it comes down to you breaking into these categories and topics, hashtags on Twitter, I'd say come off like as spammy. They look like, you know what I mean? Like advertising. It looks very gimmicky. I think that's a good word. It looks very gimmicky. But what doesn't look gimmicky is like, man, this Fortnite clip was dope, right? Or like whatever. Had to share this Fortnite clip. Man, shout out. When is Epic Games, using that line, gonna let me do this? And then all of a sudden you're putting yourself in these search results and these search topics that Twitter starts to favor. And they build a profile for you, and then you start to build your own little mini algorithm. But for Twitter to increase your activity and increase your growth on there, it's about interacting with the other users on Twitter. So like, how many times you interacted with me and I probably responded to you publicly, but that's you getting attention from a profile, big profile, that someone's gonna be like, why him, or who is he, right? And then the more they see you, the more familiar you get, and etc. So you got to break out of your bubble. You got to really break out of the bubble. And this is something that I was really giving Techo about is involve yourself in the communities, man. For you, it's the caster community. If that's where you want to be, the casting community.
Okay. Yeah, I can totally do that. I'll make sure I'll do my research. You're gonna see. You're definitely gonna see a difference. The content that I'm gonna be putting out, you're gonna see a big difference for sure.
Yo, man, throw it out there. Throw it to the world. It's the only way it's gonna get out there. It's the only way people are gonna start really sharing it and talking about it, right? Be a point of something that people want to reference or bring value to people, right? I'm not saying go out there and be the analytical guy if that's not your thing, but those guys grow all the time because they're bringing value to different streamers all the time, or editors, for example, because they're taking the time, edit a clip for some guy they don't even really get paid to edit for, but that recognition, that share, that thumbnail they made, that's what really facilitates socials.
Okay. Yeah, definitely got to get out there more, put my name out there, react with other tweets and other platforms. I don't even think I got a Reddit. I think I made one for one time.
There you go. Let's talk about like streaming and versus growing your brand. Have you done a stream in recent times? And if not, are you planning on doing a stream?
First stream is actually tonight. I'm gonna stream some Fortnite, I think.
Okay.
I'm just gonna try to get out there. I was talking with my fiance about a schedule, so I know that I need to do a schedule, get some reliability there, so
Yep.
people know where to find me. Um, I've been thinking a lot about how you were saying that intro. I'm not. I always remembered watching your streams. You always had that D-face party, right? You know, you throw out the D-face sign. You
Yeah.
know, that was fun. Can't do that anymore. But you know, I've been really thinking about that, and that's definitely something that I'm gonna have to work on because you need that consistency as well. And if I could take that 10 seconds to put that as me, you know, welcome to my channel. You know, I'm gonna have to find a way to do that. So I never thought about that as well.
Yeah, and you know, it goes beyond that. Like I was mentioned, when it comes down to being a new streamer, being someone who is just breaking into the space, you have to work harder outside of the live stream platform. Like new streamer, your schedule should be straight up. I'm going live for an hour. Hopefully, I win a game in this hour or two, or you know, like whatever. Play till I get like 2, 3 dubs. Set a little goal for yourself, and then
Okay.
get out of there, and then use the rest of your remaining time, recycle that content, figure out how to get it out there. And maybe not tonight, because you should not be dropping no highlights at 11 p.m. for TikTok. Like, ain't nobody watching those. They're asleep. Right? Think about times. Be conscious of when you're putting your content out there. But
Okay.
get ahead of it. That'll be your tomorrow schedule. That's how you're gonna kickstart your day tomorrow. Drop a Twitter clip, invite WMC or whoever, right? Like, that's how you want to do it. Invite your close community, the people that you work with. That's your foundation. That's your bedrock. That's where you start, because you're already a part of a community. And in that community, you have friends there. Those friends are going to be your initial people that are going to rock with you. They're going to play with you when you want to play. They're going to find it cool that you're breaking into new stream avenues, right? Maybe they get featured in a YouTube video, more inclined to want to watch that one or share it. You have a start. Little do you know, small start. And it's in a community you've already been a part of for so long, right? Leverage that, use that, and grow from that. And then maybe you find a new person. You guys stumbles upon your YouTube video. Y'all, I thought you guys were funny little 3-minute clip you put together. Keep it up, and then you keep doing those. So that's how you do it. But again, set a small goal for yourself as a new streamer. Very small goal, something super attainable, not very difficult. Get there, repurpose all the content from there backwards that you think is good, that you can extract outwards. And even if it's not good, dude, drop the subpar stuff, because it's better something than nothing. Right?
Okay.
That's why
Yeah.
sometimes I just go live. I'm like, man, I ain't got nothing. I really don't have a plan. I got an hour in front of me. But you know what? People appreciate that hour, right? We just kick it for a little bit, whatever, dude. We
Yeah.
get by.
Yeah. Okay. That is such great advice, and I really appreciate you taking the time to help me out with this. And you will definitely notice my name floating around on Twitter and YouTube a lot more. So
In the Twitch chat, all that, man.
Oh yeah, Twitch is. I used to be really into Twitch chat, like in there all the time, and so like just life happens, right? And now I'm just trying to find a new norm. So I'm gonna be back there. I was in there today, but during the day I got 3 kids. It's
Yeah,
a little
no, I get
crowded,
it.
plus a little puppy. It's very hectic. So I'm just gonna have to try to find that community around my time frame that works for me, and I'm gonna have to work with that, I think. So just a little bit more thinking outside the box and not being in this little bubble anymore.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the whole thing about this. I really hope it helps you break into different perspectives on how to see, a plan of attack and a method to really, get your way and find your way through esports and through gaming and stuff, because there's so many different ways to do it. And a lot of people start off with the very wrong ways, right? They're very unoptimal ways and stuff like that. You get stuck in that loop where it's like, dude, I've been doing this for 4 years. Well, what have you been doing for 4 years, right? You've been streaming every day and not doing the other content, not putting in the effort. And that's how you get in those infinite loops. And you don't want to be there. If you do everything that I tell you tonight, like, I guarantee you within 3 to 6 months, you'll be doing your first paid casting gigs, like 1,000,000%, because you'll all of a sudden find yourself, you will have content out there. You have like your resume, which is your online profile. Your Twitter is your resume. You have a point for people to reach you, and you'll have stuff out there that people can say, yo, this guy's got a brain in his head. He knows how to talk the talk. We need a caster. Like, how do you get those? So we're about at our time's limit for UF cut, but this is a sick talk, man. Thanks for jumping on with us.
I really appreciate the time today, and GGWP for having me on here. I really appreciate you guys picking me out of everybody that applied. I know it was a lot of people, so thank you so much for everything. You guys have a great stream, Monster, and thanks again, guys.
Yeah, it's all love, man. And listen, keep doing what you do. I know you're gonna be something special if you just continue to work harder, brother. So thanks for taking the time, most importantly. And yeah, for those of you guys at home, like I said, that is F cut, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have another awesome person jumping on here next. It'll be Somebody's Gun, another aspiring caster, but someone who's got a little more skin in the game, and we'll get him ready here shortly. Hopefully you guys at home have enjoyed that one with F-Cut, who's trying to really get into the foundation of casting and figure things out, and we just showed them a different perspective of how to look on things. And now we're gonna take it like a step further. Someone who's done all those things and maybe a little bit more. It's gonna be Somebody's Gun. Can we get him up on screen? What's up, my bro?
Hey, what's up, Monster? How you doing?
Yo, everything's going good, man. We've had some really, really sick conversations tonight. I'm not sure how much you got to follow along with, but yeah, everyone's bringing their own like juice to the table, their own perspectives and stuff, and we want to hear about yours, man. So let's kick it off. Let everyone at home know who you are, what is that you do in this space, and why you're here.
All right, cool. Well, what's up, everyone? I'm Somebody's Gun. Kind of do a lot of things, mostly focused on Fortnite. Actually, solely focused on Fortnite. Do some casting. Used to do some like writing and news. Now mostly focused on like content creation and the casting side. So, thanks for having me, Monster. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, no, listen, absolutely. Thanks for jumping on. I mean, I wanna get right into it because I feel like I'm on fire right now. I'm spitballing. So let's talk about this, man. You had a big conversation and a big point you want to bring up is finding your own identity, whether it be educational content, news, and casting. So when you say how did you find your identity, are you asking me how I find my identity, or are you asking how can you do this for yourself?
So I think I'm asking to understand like how you personally did it, just to understand, even though I guess you're probably more on the other end of the spectrum because you do so many things. So it's like you put yourself everywhere and that's your identity of like a man of everything. But I'd be interested to hear what your thoughts are.
I mean, that's who I am now because we all evolve over the years. The Somebody's Gun I'm looking at today, next year, man, you could be doing who knows what, right? You could be doing all this and then some. Because you are gonna gain experience. And eventually sometimes maybe you're just, you want to do more and you figure you can do more because you've gotten so efficient at casting and time management and pumping out your content that you can take on more. That's what happened with me. I just started getting so efficient with the way I was producing my content, finding more time on my hands. And what do I do with my extra time? I'm the kind of guy who likes to use the extra time to self-develop, whether that's watch a YouTube video on how to do like a little art piece, or you know what I mean? How do I edit this next thing? How do I pick up this next little trait? That's what keeps me going. That's what entertains me. That's what kind of gets me rolling. And then I apply those things, and I apply them with no fear of failure because can't fail. I've already won. Right? You've already won, bro. You've casted on DreamHack. Like, no, think about it. What, like, you're not losing by any means. You're not in first place. You're definitely not in last. You're in the race, buddy. Right? Like, you're going. So there's no failure at that point because you've gotten so far off the starting line. Like, you're in this. Now it's the marathon. And that's the truth of it. How do you really produce the kind of content that's not going to burn you out? That's not going to stress you out. And that's one thing that I focus on a lot is keeping my stressors hecka low. Like if it stresses me out, I don't want to touch the project. And I do some things that people would think stressful. Yo, man, $50,000 on the line. We got to produce this crazy tournament. Yes, it's stressful because, pressure's on, but right. I love what I'm doing. It's not stressful. Like I'm dreading the situation. I'm dreading the event. That's stress, right? Jumping on here, talking to people, teaching people how to play the game, right? That is esports and breaking into the space. I love this stuff. I do this stuff. It's not stressful at all. This is fun. This is what we do it for, right? Talking to peers. So how do I find my identity? It's from doing one thing and then doing another and then push my envelopes, right? Get the content out there and doing more and more and refining what it is that I'm doing and then learning from it, right? Taking every opportunity as a learning experience. It's not a failure, right? These are learning experiences and you get better. That's really how I got to where I'm at in like the philosophical sentences. There's more tedious steps, of course, but that's what it comes down to. It's like what I like to do as a person.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I know you do a lot of stuff, so then finding the things that you enjoy doing and just going for them, and then trying to limit that stress on yourself so that way you can keep the grind going it's not something I've really thought of. Like simple as that sounds,
it sounds crazy, right? It sounds so simple because like, damn, if I wasn't doing this thing that stressed me out, maybe I wouldn't be stressed out. right? Like, and sometimes what stresses people is the fact that they don't pull the quote unquote retention or the views, right? Because let's keep it real, these numbers are now like, it's like the numbers for some are like the gas, right? It's like the gasoline in the tank. You want to keep it fuel. It's literally the hit, like it's that thing that keeps you going now. It's the itch that you crave, is the attention. But you got to find different ways to extract that and still be content and happy with the stuff you're producing. Whether that be, for me, it's the process. A lot of the times it's really the process, right? Like the complexities behind putting in all the work to get to that final product. To me, that's the rewarding feeling. It's like, oh man, we just pumped that out. Like, that was dope. That's cool. It's not really the big numbers. I know the numbers will come. I know the money will come because I'm doing great stuff. I'm doing quality stuff. So once you look past it, and you, again, I use this line a lot of the times when I'm on whatever, but defining success for yourself is such an important one, because your version of success is going to be so different from someone else's. And when I look at somebody's gun, like I said at the start of this, you're successful, man. You have broke into the space. You've already been doing it. You're doing it now. Look at the recent events you've been doing with like these other smaller organizations stuff. Those are people looking to you because you've done something for yourself. How did you do that? You put the content out there. You put your efforts and you consciously put your efforts forwards first, and then you receive the benefits of putting stuff out, right? Took a little while to get going, but it wasn't being ignored. It was being watched, and you got better and better. Little did you know, you're getting better and better, but it's from doing more and more, right?
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Definitely took a while, but I'm happy to be where I'm at today. I mean, by no means am I complacent, but I'm definitely happy to be at the point where I'm.
You shouldn't be complacent. Today. No, you shouldn't be complacent. You should always be working harder, right? Because you can. And now that you have a little momentum going in your sales, you want to push that, man. You really want to push every boost that you can and extract as much out of it, because it's moving along right now, but it's gonna slow down again. And when it starts slowing down, this is where you gotta keep that workflow up, keep that work ethic up, and keep it going, because the wins will come back into your sales again. That's how YouTube is. It's like high tide, low tide. That's how the streaming world is. That's how Twitter is, right? The algorithm's going to favor you some weeks, man, and then it's going to tank. You're going to be like, dude, is my channel dying? Like, it's not dying. Just trust it. Trust the process. You're going to have highs. You're going to have lows. With the stock market rises and it pulls back, right? It's all the same thing. There's so many different metaphors we can make with these kind of connections, but they're all very much true, man. If I quit for every time my viewers started going down, like, man, I'm back to 30 views on this game, like, I'd be, who knows what the heck I'll be doing. But you push through it. And then when those big waves come, back at the top, baby, and your next low won't be as low as your lows before. You keep stepping up and up and up, right? So like, think about when I first started Twitter, dude, no tweets. Now a bad tweet is probably like 100 hits. That's a bad tweet. There was a time where 100 hits, I'm like, yo, bro, this thing's going off. Like, everyone's look. You get what I'm saying? But your perspective changes as you start to grow. So don't think of it as failures or successes or, none of that, right? Also, don't be complacent, like you said. If you want to keep being the best, you got to keep striving for more. And I'd say with your content, look at what you're doing now and where things started really picking up for you, and then keep doing more of that. Because sometimes it could be the quality of content you're putting out. It could be the sheer volume. It could be maybe just who you were interacting with and getting in front of the right people, so that now you're on the right headlines, right? To be picked out, to be singled out, to be actually noticed. You got to get noticed. And sometimes it comes down to as simple as that, right? Who you connected with.
Yeah, and I think that brings us. It's a perfect segue to my next question that I had for you. Is like, doing things for views versus doing kind of what you enjoy. And for me, I've seen some success as far as like numbers go on low effort, kind of just throwing videos out there, and you're one of the first, so you reap the benefits of it. But compared to some of the other content I put out, like, it's very low quality and not exactly the best, right? So I don't know how you balance that, and if you have any advice.
Yeah, no. So like, I mean, I broke into the Fortnite space as a news hub, as a place to go for the latest and greatest. And it was about speed. It wasn't about quality by any means. It was literally about Fortnite update 4 a.m. Drop that video, search algorithms, yum, 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 click me. I'm here. Watch the content. And that's how I literally platformed myself and pushed myself into the Fortnite algorithm, into the space as a recognizable hub to connect with. And when you're the new streamer, when you're the small guy in the space, you have to outwork the competition. And it gets hard when the competition is working hard, right? Like if I was still doing all that, it'd be even tougher for new people to break in and be the tutorial. Like, dang, man, this guy who's crushing it is still crushing it. He's still on it. He's still consistent. Sometimes those lulls where other influencers are now, pushing their streams later, or, not covering those niches anymore. That's all new territory, man. Snatch that up, take advantage, grow your foundation off of that so that you can start to ease up down the line. Not everything's going to be fun in games and all, you know what I mean? Not every project's, some of them is going to they are going to be trash, right? You're going to be like, man, dude, I don't want to be up at 4 a.m. doing a damn video for Epic right now. But you know what? I want to grow. If I want to make it in this space, you know what? I'm going to be the guy that goes out of my way and to go do it, right? Ozzy Ants is a great example of someone who he lives in the mud. He does all the stuff no one wants to do. He watches the week viewing party of whatever week tournament, right? Like he does a viewing party. It doesn't matter what tournament. It could be a trash tournament. He's gonna put in the effort though, right? And that's he reaps the rewards of putting in that hard work, so that when big tournament comes around and now he's sitting there, he's that go-to hub. He's killing it, right? And now all the revenue that's coming in, the numbers all facilitating itself, but how much that hard work he put in, where no one wants to watch these small things or whatever, right? He put in so much of that groundwork. And it's the same thing for YouTube. It's the same thing for, putting out that low effort content that we're talking about, but being there, being present, being in front of those eyeballs. Because if you're not doing it, someone wants to watch it. They're going to find whoever is doing it eventually.
Yeah, it's a good point. So it's a mix of doing kind of the things that I enjoy, as well as using those moments and opportunities that I know may not be like the best, but learning where those opportunities are is kind of what you're trying to say. There is what you're saying, right?
I mean, that's just one of the different ways, right? Because the other side of that, you talked about kind of like reflecting on, like, how do you actually do what you want to do successfully? That's where you need to start looking at, what do people want to see and how do I put my spin on it? Or, dude, this is what YouTube clickbait is all about. Like, you take a topic that you want to talk about, but you flex it, you really bend it, you manipulate it in a way that you can bleed that title for as much interest as possible to get to your content, so that the rest sells itself out. And you really have to do it. And some people go all the way and they're clickbaiters, right? And then other people have a little more integrity, right? I like to think I have a lot. I have a lot of integrity. I'll be honest, right? Like, a lot of my stuff is pretty cut and dry. I don't really clickbait, but I thumbnail bait. I sometimes spark up a little bit of the, you know what I mean? Because you kind of have to, right? That's just the name of the game, man. That's what the platform's all about. If you're not doing the bright color thumbnails, you're not setting yourself up for success. So the platform, you got to set yourself up for success for the platforms too. So it's a balancing act. It's finding how much you're willing to, give, how much integrity, right? Like, how much does your integrity really mean to you versus what you're willing to give away to play the game that is the platform you're trying to be successful on. And then the content that you're putting out, it should always be the content that you like to make, though, at the end of the day, because there's so much content you like to make. You just got to find out a way to fit it into the narrative, right? Like, VOD reviews, they weren't popular, but I like doing them. And my version of a VOD is literally just an experience. Like, I'm just sitting there, I'm watching the gameplay, I'm vibing, I'm talking to community, I'm asking a bunch of questions, and then we're doing more of those. It's something that I can rinse, repeat, and it's infinite. It's infinite, and it's my style. How do you find something that you can do that is repeatable, that you can create more of, that becomes you brand it, right? And you keep coming back for more, that you can keep that for a long length of time. It's about longevity. Think about that word marathon, because it really is in this space. Somebody's gun.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you. I'm trying to think. So I didn't write this down for you, and I apologize for bringing this up. But as far as like streaming goes, like, do the same rules apply on Twitch as it does on YouTube? Obviously not. But would you rather stream something you know is going to do well versus I guess hold on. So like for me personally, I know when
I get what you're saying.
I do VOD reviews, I do well,
Yeah, and
right?
that probably gets the views.
Yeah. But then when I
Mhm.
go play the game myself, like I suck at the game. I'm not terrible, but no one wants to watch me for the gameplay. Is it better to turn the stream on to play the game, or is it better to like just relax, play the game myself off stream and enjoy it? Because either way, I mean, it's basically the
So
same to me.
So if like streaming to a quote unquote lower viewer count makes you feel like you're failing and it stresses you out, then I'd limit how much I do that or how often I do it, right? And I'd start looking at your platform as a business. When you open shop, come in with the energy to open that damn shop and get those customers in and do what you got to do. Straight up, bite the bullet. That's how I do it. That's how I do it. So those days, sometimes I'd be like, man, do I really want to run a solo spotlight? I say, bro, like, yeah, I want to run a solo spotlight. Let's get it, right? Let's go. That's gonna hype me up. I'm like, I'll juice myself up. Go. Let's open shop, baby. Let's get these people in here. Let's give them what they want because this is what they want. This is how you grow that community. This is how you be the face of the space. Like you got to look at it as that, man. And the same way when you're not streaming, your store is closed, straight up, right? So, do you want a closed store or do you want to open the store? Right? Like
Fair
that's
enough, yeah.
just facts. If you're sitting there at home, yeah, you want to play the games yourself, that's fine. Play your game, enjoy yourself. But that little bit of enjoyment you're getting, that better be you recharging yourself so that you're getting ready to open up the store. Like, don't burn yourself out playing the game for fun all the time because now you're just being useless to yourself. You're not using your time. But dude, I play games all the time to myself. But that's me recharging. Like I'm playing Pokemon Go. I'm recharging the Mensu. I'm vibing out, right? I'm relaxing myself. But that's so when I turn on the lights, game time. What's up, baby? We here. Let's go. It's showtime. What we doing with Fortnite today, right? I'm gonna film a video and do a VOD review. Let's go. Boom. We're gonna edit it on stream. We opening the shop. We getting busy. We getting active, man. And we're doing it because we're hungry. You got to be hungry as an influencer, man. Because the next guy is hungry. Why do you think he's streaming for 12 hours a day? He's hungry getting after his own way. You think Emad wants to watch Middle Eastern tournaments at 2 a.m.? Hell no, he don't. But he's setting himself up. So after he gets to the morning grind and NA East tournaments come up, he's already got all the viewers in there. He's already the spot. Now it's where his enjoyment can come in. So he goes through the mud. He deals with the BS, right? And then he enjoys the benefits, the big view counts, the big numbers, the chat coming through, the game he wants to watch. Now it's enjoyable. But he's also opening up shop. And he's doing his thing, right? And everyone has that time where you don't really want to do this, but you know what? If you juice yourself up, right, and you really think about this from the right perspective, and you think about this from like, man, I'm here to take over, I'm here to grow, man. I want to be successful. Do what you gotta do to be successful, man. You can do that without selling yourself short. By just looking at it as an opportunity, man. Take advantage of the opportunities. Be appreciative too.
Yeah, cool. I mean, I definitely one thing I've debated doing is turning the like viewer count off. So like I just have no stress over it, and regardless of what I'm doing on stream, like I'm just chilling. Is that something you would recommend doing?
I think if it bothers you that much, I'd say do it. I don't turn my viewer count off because my viewer count doesn't reflect who I am. It doesn't reflect my energy of the day because I know what I'm setting out to do, right? When I'm up there, like straight up. So I've done like it's crazy. You catch me on a 30 viewer, 20 viewer stream. I am so me because I've been doing this for so long. Like you can't tell me I'm not winning right now. Like the 20 people in the chat, there's 20 people in the chat. I don't care. Like we're kicking it, whatever. It feels good when you got 1,000 in there. I'll tell you that. But like it really doesn't define me. I don't feel any much better. I just feel like, oh snap, oh today's just a big day. You know, cool. Right. But it really doesn't define me, and not everyone is seeing things through my perspective. Everyone gets, I guess, affected differently by the number. If the number bothers you, bro, turn it off. Put a fake number right there. Put a 1,500. Like, do it. Let that psych yourself out. Straight up, put your own goddamn number right there. It's gonna make you feel better because that endorphin, that mentality that's gonna kick in is gonna make a difference. And it's true. If it bothers you, turn it off. And it sounds like it could bother you. It could bother a lot because it does. It does bother a lot of people. You know, when you see big numbers, some people all of a sudden like, oh man, partner guy in my chat, yo, hold up, I'm sitting up now, and all of a sudden you're excited to talk. And nah, man, you gotta be like that all the time, like really. And when you find yourself fizzling out or slipping out of that mood, you gotta psych yourself back up, man. Streaming is such a mental game. Most of it is mental.
Yeah, no doubt. Right, that's really good advice. I'll probably take that up later today or tomorrow. So thank you for that.
For sure, bro.
All right. The next question. I mean, I kind of know the answer to this, but like, just wanted to throw this out here. But like, I should personally be doing like YouTube Shorts or TikToks or something like that, right?
Yeah. No, me too. But here's what I'll say. You and I both know you kind of should be doing it and all that kind of stuff, right? Because you see, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel. A lot of people are blowing up. They're finding their own success. Not everyone's path to success is going to be the same. I'm okay with that. I've come to grips with not every platform is for me. Like, I don't like TikTok as a platform because I'm not going to go dance for you. I'm sorry, right? Like, it's not me, right? Like, I don't want to watch girls dancing on there. I'm not there for the lewd content. It's not me. If anything, it makes me uncomfortable seeing a 17-year-old do whatever the hell she's doing. Like, I'm like, bruh, this app is really not me. Like, I'm uncomfortable. I don't like TikTok as a platform. Now, does that mean I stay away from it? Does that mean I don't grind it because there's opportunity? Nah, not really. Like, I throw stuff on there because I know the possibility, the off chance that, you know, something's going to catch fire, because I know what that ignition can be like for the social. So I'm always throwing stuff on there, right? Because you never know what's going to take flight. But I've come to grips that platform, that's not the platform I'm going to focus on. I'm going to focus on the other stuff that I like to be on. Twitter, Twitch, podcasts. Those are my avenues. Those are the things I like. And what I like is going to resonate with the people when they start coming to me and they start looking at what is that I offer. You think GGWPs found me on TikTok? No, buddy. They found me somewhere else, right? Like, you know what I mean? It's not the TikTok content they're here for, but I'm still winning my own lanes. I'm not doing TikTok at all, right? Like, it's those kind of things. Not every platform's for everybody, man. If you think shorts are for you, or, you know, TikTok's for you, heck yeah, man, go after it. But if you know it's not for you, it's not your style, you're not really finding your way to fit in that space, post your own stuff, right? That you would normally post, because being different can sometimes be all you really need it to be on a platform. But don't feel like you need to conform yourself to a platform if it's not your platform.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's my own bit of advice. And everyone's going to be different about that. Some people are going to look at it the way I look at Twitch. It's a business. Monster, open up shop, go dance. Sorry, I won't.
We can dance together.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, dude. I'm not gonna open up my TikTok shop, dude. I'm not. It's not what it was gonna get me excited. It's gonna stress me out.
Fair enough. I think I'm probably in the same boat, but I definitely don't have the platform. Just be chilling though. Like, it's definitely not my kind of platform.
Right.
And I like, that's obviously why I'm not there yet. But I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a shot. I got nothing to lose out of it.
What I'm saying is there's still ways to make success on there, right? You don't have to dance. Educational content does pretty okay on there, right? If you do educational content, like that kind of stuff does well. Like, look at what Sancho West is doing. Sancho West has changed his content. He's always been like funny memes, but now he's putting out like straight up basic tips and tricks, because he knows TikTok demographic way down, average, super average. You can sell basic to TikTok. That can work. So that could be you. You could sell basic to TikTok. You can't sell basic to Twitter. You can't sell basic to Reddit. They'll flame you. You can sell basic to TikTok. It works. Yeah. It's basic. It's young. It could work there. So, look at the platform, man. Think about how you can fit in that platform for the things, the attributes that you have that could gel well on that platform. Same thing for YouTube.
All right. Thank you. Hey, maybe I'll throw out my first TikTok this week.
Yo, do it, man. Little tip and trick. Trust me. It might do really well.
All right. I'll take that. Thank you. Next question. YouTube. Any tips on like the algorithm? Because every time I think I know what's going on, I'm quickly proven wrong because I don't know how the YouTube algorithm works.
So I'm not an algorithm kind of person with YouTube. I'm actually more on the keywords and search results type of YouTuber. So there's different
Okay.
ways. You want to be in the algorithm, you got to talk about clicks. You got to talk about all these other guys that are in the algorithm. Back in the day, 2 years ago, tips and tricks, algorithm. How to ramp rush, algorithm. Back in the day, box fighting tips, algorithm. No one's searching for that anymore. They're not searching for it. It's not algorithm, right? A lot of the stuff that we do, the nitty gritty, the niche stuff, is really not algorithm. Doesn't mean you can't win in those categories. But if you want to play the algorithm, you got to play the algorithm. And that's almost like selling yourself out a little bit because you got to play the game. It's the same thing. Every platform is going to have a game, right? It's going to have a type of something that's really working on there. And if you want to win on it, you got to play what's winning. If you're not playing what's winning, then it's just not your time yet. But when your time comes and it's your thing and it's in the algorithm, that's when you're killing it, right? That's when you're doing what you love. You're working really hard. You're pumping all this stuff out and it's just clicking. Boom, 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 boom. Tutorials going off, whatever. That might be the next title for you. It might not. That ship could have already sailed to Fortnite. It already. Let's be honest. It has sailed for Fortnite. Tips and tricks and all that kind of stuff. Doesn't mean there isn't a space there because people are always going to work for it. That's where you switch it up. Your stuff should be more hard focused on results, search results, new season tricks, new season how to craft, right? How to do X, Y. Those are search key hits. Make sure your tags reflect that. Make sure your description reflects it. That title reflects it. And in every video, dedicate it to a search result style manner. And you'll find success in those little niches until the wave comes in, the wave that you're really looking to tackle. And then you go hard in those avenues. And then one other thing I'd say, if one video does well, making a video a very similar topic will also make that video do well because your algorithm on your main video will directly funnel your own content up. So you can feed your own content. So like if I make a Benji Fishy video and it pops off 100K, I'm making another Benji Fishy video because my Benji Fishy video is going to recommend my next Benji Fishy video. And now I'm in my own algorithm. So you can make your own algorithms. My VOD reviews are my own algorithms. Who else is making VODs like the way I was doing it? No one. I'm feeding my own views to myself because I'm posting so many of them. I'm the only guy doing it. I'm making my own algorithm. You get what I mean?
Yeah, no. And if I look at my analytics, it definitely is fed through search terms.
There you go.
And I've never, like, I always kind of like target myself to try and figure that out. But I've never thought of, or never even heard, to be honest, feeding your next video from a previous video that did well. So I'm gonna try that.
And here, I'll give you another like secret. And I did this during the World Cup. Like, I was like, okay, Aspect's a good player. I'm gonna make a video on Aspect this weekend and Animal because I know they're gonna do well this weekend. So what happened? They did well. People search up Animal and Aspect. My video was already made 3 days ago. I'm feeding now. The results come in late, but it's a late wave, but it's okay, right? Prediction content, future-proof content, videos on Zate High Ground. Like he's gonna do it next FNCS. We all know he's gonna do it. Someone's gonna want to watch it when he pops off. If he wins, it's over. Your video is gonna get active views off of that. There's so many different ways to play YouTube. You could play it from I'm preparing now for what's gonna come. You could do it from here's what's going to be searched up. Here's what's being searched up now. Or you could be what's in the algorithm, what's hot, right? And then play into those and mesh yourself into those loops. There's so many ways to play YouTube, man. It's crazy. But I'd say find one type of it, whichever one you like the most. Predictionary type stuff, targeting search results, or picking who's hot and then building a lot of stuff around them. Pick one though, right? Focus on it and then try to make a lot of your content that same way.
All right, cool. Well, I'm gonna definitely try and craft that. 'Cause, like, to be honest with you, when I'm doing YouTube, it's almost like throwing darts at a dartboard, and I'm not a very good dart player. You know, I somewhat know what I'm doing, but it hits sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't.
Well, like, all right. So then here's I'll give you a video idea. Your best video in recent times is like the crafting one, right? Like how to craft and all this stuff, right? Like that guide did well. Like your next video could have been how Clicks created his loot path to upgrade all of his weapons. It's the same thing. It's a somebody's gun video on a guide to upgrade weapons, but now you're putting Clicks in there and you break down Clicks' content and his gameplay. It doesn't even have to be nothing crazy. It's just this loot, so basic, but it's like niche, but it targets your own stuff and you float your, you know what I mean? That's just a creative way to flex the
Yeah.
title and still pump out great like educational content that somebody's gun wants to make at that quality somebody's gun wants to make. But now you know people want to search it. You feel me? Find a sweet spot. That clickbait of using Clix's name is okay. All right. You're doing it in an educational way, but you get away with that. You grow off that.
Yeah, it's like that balance of, doing both of what you like and what's going to do well. And I think I've
Yes.
struggled sometimes of like, I only want to do what I want to do, but then occasionally we'll be like, I kind of have to do some of this other stuff that I know will do well, but doesn't necessarily feel as good when I'm making it. But I guess sometimes it feels better afterwards, like long term, when you see the success that it continues to bring, and then it brings people to the videos you want to make.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, a lot of the time it's just how creative you can be with your title. It's the narrative.
Cool.
What else do we have here? Let's see. I'm looking through. We've gone through a lot of topics here. We did
Yes.
TikTok.
Do we still
did
have time?
YouTube. We're very much at the tail end. I think the last one here, though, just to kind of hit all of it, would be how do you translate your following on social media to other channels? This would be last but not least, I guess. So we could come out close. I'll drop some here. I think this is one of the more tougher things to do. I think Twitter is definitely, I think we all know, the hub to get people from point A to point B. It works really well. I'd say finding more ways to be personable with the people of your following. Do something that they want to participate in and find a way to connect with them, like on a one-on-one. So like for me, that's like Spotlight, because I'm quite literally interviewing people after the call's over, and now like we're friends because I made them laugh or whatever, and now we're interacting with each other on social media, and now maybe when I tweet something, they want to be a part of that. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's those features. It's involving people, and I think the more like friendships you make and stuff of that nature, you'll find that more people will be more receptive to support you in other places. And that's kind of like my TLDR for social media and leveraging it to go to other places. It's just about building a connection with those people. That's going to be hard. It's what really stands out, the best versus others. Maybe I'm not doing it that well because, I'm still growing too, right? But you just never know. It's definitely one of the harder things, but I think it's about connecting with the viewers.
Okay. I personally, like, I try and just be genuine. Like, I'm always who I am for the most part, whether it be on a broadcast or when I'm making a YouTube video, even though it's focused on content, and then especially streaming. Just try and genuinely be who I am, so that way you get it's the same somebody's gun regardless of where you go. And so I've seen Arab, he's like, you got to put different stuff on all the different platforms. But I don't think he necessarily means that you have to be a different person. You just have to, similar to what you said earlier, you have to craft the content towards whatever platform you're on. So I personally need to do a better job of that.
It's definitely not being a different person. Your personality should stay true to who you are across all your medias, right? If anything, I do a poor job on that on Twitch, because like I'm pretty funny on Twitch and I roast people on Twitch, but I won't roast people on Twitter, right? Because like I'm like, yo, this is professional, this is the resume, right? You gotta be careful, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
maybe if I did more of that, like as a personality, it'd probably grow. But like on the business end, probably not a good idea, So strike a balance. Definitely be who you want to be yourself. And like you said, or like we've been saying, yes, each platform, tailor the content, tweak it a little bit so it makes sense to the content on that platform, and you'll find more successes there. But all right, I think we're good. Mr. Somebody's Gun, let the people at home know where they can find you. This is an awesome back and forth thing. Everyone, like I said, I knew everyone's going to bring a little something different to the table. We all have so many different perspectives, and I'm excited to see how you start to, I think, just be more creative with your content, bro, because you have the work ethic. I already told you, you're in the race, bro. You are in the race. Get more creative, be more, take more risk, if you will. And I think you'll find more of the success you're looking for. But anyways, let the people at home know where they can get you, brother.
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much, Monster. Really appreciate you taking the time to do this. But Somebody's Gun on all social media platforms. For me, that means Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, maybe TikTok by the end of this week. So Thank you again, man. I really appreciate it.
No problem. All right. So we about to get into the next influencer here soon. I'm just glancing over at chat. I see a bunch of you guys up in there. Little perks and little questions, responses to some of the stuff we're bringing out. Hopefully, you guys are all enjoying it. Yeah, man. There's just so many different ways that you can go about tackling being an influencer in the space. I think I've personally done so many different or tried so many different ways. I found what works for me, what resonates for me, what I like resonates most with the community that I'm trying to build. And I've changed so much as an influencer over the years. Like I said, even just picking up these people skills, learning how to talk to the camera and doing all this on-air work. It's all so new to me. These are traits that we've picked up in the last couple of years. And that means you guys at home, you guys as influencers can also pick up those same exact traits. It's not a single thing that I'm saying here that you can't at some point learn or try to enforce and apply into your own content or just daily life. And I think the difference is, quite honestly, is, not being afraid to try something new. We left somebody's gun with, I think, one of the most important nuggets, and that's taking risk, man. Getting out there, trying something different. Talk about something different. We have our last guest influencer, content creator of the day. It's going to be the young JB Swiss. JB, you are muted on Discord, so don't forget to unmute here. There you go, brother. What's going on, man?
Nothing. I'm happy just to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, no, listen, it's been a good day. I'm not sure how much of what you've watched today you've watched, but hopefully it was a fair amount. And yeah, man, let's just do some catch up, dude. Let the people at home know who is JB Swish and why are you here?
I'm a 15-year-old. I love playing Fortnite. I love streaming. I host a lot of games whenever we can possibly. I try to stream every day, and yeah, most of my content and my community is based around Fortnite.
Dope. Well, you're officially the youngest person to jump on the channel today, so big shout outs to you, dude, taking the leap of faith, jumping out here. Let's hop right into it, man. What is it that you want to learn most, I guess, as a streamer?
My first question is, what is the best way to grow my Twitch?
Okay, so Twitch is a interesting platform because Twitch is a platform truly dedicated for live streaming, right? Being live, being there. We use this reference today. Opening up your store, opening up shop is when you're live on Twitch, and when you're not, dude, no one's there to come watch you, right? Like, no one's gonna go to Twitch to see your content if you're not actually there in person, because it's a very interactive platform. So the thing about Twitch, though, is that the platform itself inherently is not designed for discoverability. So it's really not set up to help you succeed if you're a new person without a bunch of people there to watch you already. Like, you can get lucky, you can really get lucky, you can get rated, right, and grow off of that. But the truth is, if you want to grow on Twitch, you need to make sure you're growing everywhere that isn't Twitch. You need to launch a podcast, open your YouTube channel, get on TikTok, get on Twitter, involve yourselves in Reddit, inject yourself into Discord communities. Those are the ways you're going to grow on Twitch. It's about your hard work that you're putting off the platform so that you can reap the rewards when you go onto the platform and you're live. When I'm live streaming, and if you watch a lot of my streams, a lot of times I ask the question, because people ask me all the time, right? Like, dude, how do you grow on Twitch? I was like, well, let's start here. I'll ask the chat, how did you find out about me? Very, very few of them are like, oh, I was scrolling through Twitch. I went down to the 4th page and there you were. I clicked you. No one's scrolling down to the last page to click on nobody, right? Most of them are like, bro, I heard you cast that event. Bro, I love your podcast. Dude, I saw your YouTube video. Monster, I'm here from the tweet notification gang, right? Like, that's how I'm growing. I'm growing on Twitch because I'm putting so much stuff all around me that people are then coming to the Twitch channel. What do you do on Twitch or outside of Twitch to help people get to your Twitch? Or are you like struggling to find any kind of viewers right now?
No. So since I'm a host in West Open, thankfully.
Okay. My Discord.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. During like last season when there was like FNCS and stuff, my viewers are like skyrocketed because I would host games and chat or people that are playing would try to join. And another thing I like to do is just play with viewers or host scrims with viewers. and for some reason they love that, and I love it too, because I'm just
So-
interacting with my chat a lot more.
So let's talk right there. You're growing your Twitch not because like you're just streaming mindlessly, but it's because you're doing something on a different platform. You're doing something in Discord. You're providing value off of Twitch. And now they're like, bruh, JV is cool as hell because he's taking the time to host these games. I need to at least come through and say thank you, check them out. And then if they like you, even better. Now you convert someone who's going to, you know, be into you and chill with you. And I love what you're doing. You said you're interacting with viewers by playing with them. Yes, yes. That's the same thing I said to the first person I was up here today. Or no, to Techo. I was like, bro, if you're not hosting games, or if you're not being that place, if you're not playing with the viewers, you're going to have a hard time connecting with anyone. You got to connect with these guys because they're very rare commodities, right? There's not many of them coming to your channel. So when they do come to your channel, dude, you got to make it worth it. You got to strike a friendship. You got to make them want to appreciate you, right? And then hopefully like what you're bringing to the table.
Yeah, luckily, yeah, it's crazy the amount of viewers I've gotten recently.
So what are you averaging now, or how's it going for you?
Like I said, last season before I was averaging like 30 viewers. Right now, since it's the off season, I probably get like 10, and that's still a lot to me because before I was a host and was open, I was averaging 2 viewers. So just that little 8 amount is amazing to me. Thankfully.
Well, and the crazy part is like it's probably really not the same 8. Like it's always gonna change as you keep going. Like you know what I mean? So it's crazy. You say 8, but like if you look at how many people came to your channel throughout the day, it's probably 100 different people that at some point click, chill for 30 minutes, one left, and another one came. You know what I mean? So your unique viewers are growing. So even if someone's averaging 100 viewers for the whole day, that's probably like thousands of people that came in, watched for a little bit, and then left, and then another person filled his spot. Like people really kind of disregard 50 viewers, 100 viewers, 300 viewer concurrents. Like that's a lot of people constantly coming to the channel. So if you're getting 10, if you're getting 50 or 30 in the on seasons when you're hosting games, you're in those comp seasons, like really think about that from a big picture. Like you're filling up an auditorium worth of people before the day's over of at least someone that came in and saw you.
Yeah, that's true.
So make sure too, like when you are on that live button, you're 100%, right? You're in a good mood. You're doing what you got to do. And you're not like, I'm really anti like 24-hour streams because like, bro,
same.
the last like 8 hours, like what are you doing? Like a zombie. Your content is probably garbage, like boring. Right? You're like half asleep, dude. You're dreading being live. You want to get offline. So yeah, whenever you are live, make sure you're putting your best effort into being live and you're your best foot forwards. That's always going to help out a lot too.
Yeah, I think I average my stream about 2 to 3 hours because once I feel like I'm not there no more, I don't know why people try to watch me if I'm not giving my 100%. So that's when I like get off.
That's how I feel about it now too. I used to be the opposite, you know, like I would just go live and like stream for long periods of hours, man. Then I realized, yeah, it's really not the healthy thing to do. The better way to use that free and extra time is to make those other contents on other platforms. So this is what I want to ask next. You're obviously doing your stuff on East Opens, or West Open. What are you doing off of West Open? What are you doing off of Twitch? Are you doing any other content?
Yeah, so Instagram is like my second main. I've been trying to use it more, but TikTok especially, I've been trying to post clips of like whenever I'm doing like 2v2 zone wars, but like between games, I try to post clips like that.
So how long have you been uploading on Instagram now? I'm seeing that you're doing the whole new look, like the face cam on top, the gameplay on the bottom. That looks slick.
I think let me see. Instagram, I think I've been doing this since September or October.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see one of my first videos.
Is that like where you started?
Yeah, Instagram was 100% where I started. That helped me grow my platform a lot.
So in basically 6 months, you've grown 1,000 followers.
Yes.
So look, in 6 months, you've grown more followers than I have on Instagram because I don't post at all on Instagram. So it just shows you that activity is going to definitely help you out, and being consistent is definitely going to help you grow. Now, I would say personally, like Instagram is cool and all, but are you on TikTok?
Yes. I barely recently, I think I have a couple of videos. Let me see how many I have.
So here's the thing. For every video you put on Instagram, you should absolutely have that video on TikTok.
Yeah.
Is that what you're doing, or you're not doing that yet?
I think a couple. So I have 1, 2, or let me see, 2, 3. I have a good amount of. I try to do repost a lot from my Instagram. But recently I've been starting doing the face cam and then the gameplay.
How's that working for you? You think it's better?
Yes, I averaged almost like 50 viewers, and then yesterday I posted, and I have almost 700 views in one day. That's never
Big
happened to me.
difference.
Yeah, I think
Big
yeah.
difference. And that's like playing into the algorithm, that's playing into the
Mhm.
platform and learn how to grow on the platform. So what I would say is even some of that old content that, you know, the old stuff on Instagram that you think is like, man, that's season 4. Bro, you could post that on TikTok. Like, oh, y'all remember season 4? Dang, it was so cool to have those nostalgia clips hit hard. Like, and you could just film a video with your own face on top. And this is ways that you could recycle super old content on a new platform, right? And start growing off of it. So really think about how you want to start using a lot of your content, repurposing it, and growing back. You know, again, finding more, extracting more out of stuff that you've already put out there. There's always so much more that you can get out of what you've already done. And you know, it's all at the end of the day, you got to milk it, man. Milk it. You put the time in, so try to get as much out of it as possible. If that means growing on different platforms, then definitely do that.
My second question is what's the best way to get into Twitter? Because I've known a lot of people telling me to try to get into it, but I don't know how.
So and you have a Twitter, you just haven't been using it.
Yes,
I would. So first of all, I would start a new Twitter because I saw your original one. It was like your first and last name or whatever. You know, that's cool and all, but it's if you're trying to build an online personality, you want to separate, you want to start fresh. I would just do just that, right? So you're already connecting with people like through the competitive atmosphere. Dude, those are the first guys you follow. Like, you know what I mean? Launch your account. The same other helpers and hosts inside this community that you're a part of. Hello, those are the first guys you need to follow. Start supporting. They're going to want to support you, and just start there, right? Follow your favorite influencers. Don't worry about the quote unquote ratio. Like, build your content, build who you are, keep putting yourself out there, and then bring value to other people. I told FCut that a good way to break into those communities is you got to interact in those communities. You got to comment, strike up genuine conversations, respond genuinely. People are going to see that. They're probably going to want to follow you, want to see what you're posting. And then you just grow organically, man. Believe it or not, it just starts to come to you, right? Like, you know, be proud of what it is that you're doing. The West Opens host, right? Like, whatever, right? Like, that's the starting point for you. You have so much already kind of working for you. Your Twitch channel, all that stuff. So you want to make sure that you're doing that too.
Yeah.
But Twitter is the place. Like, you're just no, you need Twitter. Like that's where companies connect. That's where people see who you are. We called it the resume. It's the new age resume. And you're 15, so you're probably like, dude, I don't need a resume. But no, you're gonna need a resume, especially if you want to be in this esports stuff.
Yeah. But what do you recommend posting on Twitter once I start getting to it?
Here's the thing. Like, there was a time where like clips were like so good. Like, clips were fire. Everyone wanted to put like their best moments and all that kind of stuff, like Victory Royale, right? And like everyone was like so hyped to share it. Sometimes that kind of stuff grows old, right? Like, no, you don't really see a lot of clips on there unless like someone's winning a pop-off tournament or whatever, right? And like those are the ones people really want to watch. So for Twitter, what's happening now is interacting, like literally interacting with people, posting questions, starting debates, starting hot topics, sharing your own perspectives on different things. But most importantly, always interacting with someone and striking those conversations. You're funneling those conversations. If you're jumping into conversations, you're jumping into thread, being active. That's what's gonna gain you respect, and do it respectfully, right? Don't be the guy like, yo, you're dog water, bro. Like, don't be that guy. You're that guy being toxic on social media. It's not gonna help you grow, right? Like,
yeah, I've noticed that. I've seen a lot of people go down that path, and it just doesn't work.
It doesn't go far, man. Like, like, bro, I'm gonna block you. Like, this, I'm not trying to see all that, right? Like,
yeah. And then, or another question I have for YouTube. I've done like, I think I have 3 videos, but 2 of them are montages, and one of them are, like a scrim that I hosted and we won. Which do you recommend to post more?
What'd you like doing more?
I host a lot of scrims, so, and I think it'd be a lot easier to get more videos uploaded, and so then I'm deciding, And then with montages, I'm still deciding if I should pay for editing software and then do them my own, or actually pay somebody that's like does it like full time.
So there's obviously some, like, you could definitely find a bang for your buck, right? Like you find a good artist that's not going to charge you too much, but he's really good at what he does, and he grows with you, or you grow with him, or you just pay him outright for his services. So I'm never against putting in money to scale up, but I think new influencers, new streamers, and people like yourself, get the trait and skill yourself, like practice, right? There's no reason that you shouldn't be learning these things, because you're going to find yourself in a pinch sometimes. Bro, you just want to pump something out yourself, get it done. You don't want to pay 30, 40, 50 bucks, right? Like, and having that basic skill set and starting now, bro, you're only 15. Like, you'll be nasty in a year from now, 2 years from now. You're going to have skills, bro. Like, I have so much skills in Photoshop and Adobe, but I just started doing it. I was so bad and so slow at first, but now, like, bro, I'm efficient. I crank my own stuff out, like, if I really had to, and it's no biggie, no problem. But if I didn't take the time and I kept paying people to do that, bro, like, I'd be so useless. Like, dude, my OBS is broken. How the heck do I fix this? Like, you don't want to be stressed out. Like, you need to be a master of everything that you're touching. Like, at least know the basics. So definitely, I think you learn your own stuff first, for sure. Because you're gonna get good at it. It's also gonna help you creative wise, right? You're gonna be proud of your work.
Yeah.
And it's gonna allow you to pump out more cost effectively, right? So that's that. Now, when it comes down to like the type of content you want to make, you're talking snipe like montages or arena gameplay. I'd pick one or the other. It sounds like you like arena gameplay, or like you winning tournaments and like scrims and stuff. Dude, I think that content is great for YouTube. I don't think there's a lot of people posting like actual scrim content. So I think you can build a niche community, like, straight up, and start an algorithm. Like, I told somebody's gun about it. Sometimes, like, creating your own avenue, creating your own lane, like, that's all it takes, man. Sometimes a little creative idea, and it could just be you posting your scrims, man, editing them to be like kind of nice. Doesn't take a lot, man. A lot of sometimes less is more. So being a new editor and stuff like that could be the secret sauce, man.
Which editing software do you recommend for us, like a small time person like that doesn't know that much about it?
So they're all gonna take effort. They're all gonna take effort and time. You don't know much about it. None of them are very like user friendly. They're all gonna look very intimidating. But no matter what software you end up on, Google and YouTube is your friend, right? Okay. How do I cut this video? Search, you learn. Now, how do I turn off the audio? Cut, you learn. How do I turn this black and white? Like, literally, you will learn everything you need to learn through YouTube tutorials. That's how I learn. Like, and you're gonna make mistakes. Like, so I'd say stick to Adobe products because they're efficient, they're popular, everyone uses them. You could buy a small time subscription. You're I guess a teen, so you get some kind of student account, or maybe you know someone who has one. Frick, you could probably just ask online. There's probably someone with like a free login for you or something. But and there's trials, right? So try it out. But YouTube's going to answer most of your questions for any popular platform or editing software. So I'd stick to one of the more popular ones. I'd probably recommend Adobe, in my opinion.
Okay. And then going back to my Twitch, or about growing my Twitch, do you recommend becoming a multi-game streamer, or do you recommend just sticking to Fortnite?
So you're definitely, like, obviously right now you have your most success in Fortnite. You're gonna always have your most success in one thing, and you're gonna find more success when you start to branch out, when you have the confidence to do so, and again, the confidence to continue to do so. So you have to just learn how to be good, like be a good streamer, be consistent, and build an audience that people want to buy into. And then you can start to branch out. But, I say until then, in my opinion, it's better to niche down, focusing on one thing, make almost everything that you're putting out one thing, especially for a new streamer. So just fully involve yourself, envelop yourself in all Fortnite, right? Tips, tricks, news, get involved in conversations, share stuff, talk about opens, whatever, like interact with people, do it organically, and really just consume yourself in the content and be everywhere in that community and in that content. And then people will like you, they'll respect you. If you're doing it, again, organically, you're doing it right.
And do you recommend setting a certain schedule, or yeah, is setting a schedule the best way to help your stream?
I think yeah, I think definitely, because you know, you don't want to be the guy that goes live random times, right? Like, because then, like, how are people gonna find you? Like,
Yeah.
if someone's workflow is like, dude, I'm up every day from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. because I'm at school, and then once I get out of school, I like to watch Twitch, and they so happen like JV is always hosting at 4. They're gonna come every time, because then you start building that reputation. So you want to stay consistent, but like I said before, you have to weigh in all these other things. You don't just want to be streaming, and you don't just want to be doing this one single thing. You want to make sure you're still balancing your time, right? Getting offline at certain times to make sure you're building these other platforms. You're not building in all the other avenues, the TikToks, the Twitters, and all this other stuff, then you're wasting your time, or you're slowing down the potential for you to be at that big goal that you want to get to. You will get there eventually, but it'll be a lot slower.
And do you think the same thing goes with YouTube, as setting like a goal for 3 videos every week, or do you think it's better just to get out as many as you can?
I think with YouTube's a little bit more different, because it's very particular depending on what you're putting out. But I think for YouTube, more is better. So like they're like, YouTube is not going to hurt you for dropping a video every day, but they are going to be salty if you drop one and then you don't drop one for a whole month, then you try to drop another one. Like YouTube, you got to keep dropping stuff. Like, that's just how YouTube works. But you don't want to put more than 1 video out in a day, and if you do, definitely not more than 2 in a day. And there's some rules that you'll learn there, but for the most part, for YouTube, consistency, getting a lot of stuff out, YouTube likes that stuff, man. They want a reason to keep funneling your content out there. Remember, your videos feed your own videos.
And I saw that in the past interviews with other people, that you said that like if I stick to like a certain type of video, it will start recommending the others. Does that always work, or is it random?
I mean, it works for the most part, man. YouTube's gonna favor your algorithm, like almost always. Like it really will, especially if you're within the same topics and stuff. So you can definitely create your own algorithms, or like your own interests, your own buzz within your own niche portion of videos. But remember, I'm using the word niche, right? Like that means you have to be very, very particular, very unique, very, man, this is so just like, JV Swish, like when Arab, for example, started Inside the Mind. That is so niche. He's funneling his own views. That's not something someone searched. He created his own little algorithm, his own little pocket, and then now he created that, right? Like when I started doing those VOD reviews, like nonstop, like I just kept drilling the word VOD review, these certain kind of topics, these certain VOD review, full game, VOD review, full game. I'm watching full game VOD review. You know exactly what it is. We started our own little algorithm. We kept going. You built that. So there's a lot of streamers in our space that are doing it. Some of them do it on accident. You can do it on purpose by coming in with a game plan and keep doing it. But obviously you got to get good at it too, right? Like just because you're doing everything right, it also doesn't mean like as an influencer you've gotten to the point to where you're really good, right? So you grow, man, as you keep doing it, and you're still new to this space.
And I think a last question about Twitch that I have is, do you think you should, like, say you have a big stream planned out, but you notice that the vibes and like the viewers aren't there? Do you think you should still stream for that much, or do you think you should cut it off and then work on another platform in order to grow your Twitch? Grow your platform.
So, like I said, we've already talked about that. Definitely, you want to. So, like, if you plan something, like, sometimes you just got to write it out. Like, dude, I planned it. Some things are going to fail. Some things are going to fall short of where you want it to be, and that's okay. Not every project's going to be a huge project, and it's not everything's going to hit, right? But what you're doing with all your other days and all the usual days and stuff, bro, make sure you're optimizing your time. Make sure you're doing it right. Like, if you're hosting games from, 5 to 7, like, be there, be consistent. Build, stay active in the community, whatever, boom, that's going to work. And then jump off and recycle your content. If that's not working because like 2 hours is a lot, you're not really reaping the benefits from it, dude, host for an hour. Whatever comes out of that 1 hour, go back, start, spend the next hour editing videos, getting your next Instagram clips ready, make 7 TikToks for the whole week, right? Get ahead in your own schedule, right? The same, if you just spend 2 hours sitting there getting TikToks together, you'll definitely build 7+ TikToks for a week or 2 weeks. And now you've done more work in 2 hours than you did literally, if you would have streamed those 2 hours.
That's true. Okay.
So it's the same time. It's just, how do you want to use it? Do you want to use it to grow faster, or do you want to, you know what I mean, disregard it?
Mhm. Okay. I think that's all the questions I have, Monster.
Okay. Yo, listen, JV, man, this was awesome having you.
Yeah.
Seriously, dude. Like I said, hopefully you take away a lot from this, in a sense that,
Yeah.
dude, just keep working hard, bro. Obviously, you have a little something going for you. You're the youngest person to jump on here so far today.
Yeah.
You've listened to everything that's kind of come out, so you are starting to get a sense of, I say, awareness, right, on what's happening in the community and ways that you can start, you know, roadmapping your future. Anyone can be successful in this space, you know. Anyone can do it if you just work smart and hard. So thanks, JV. Thanks for hopping on with us, bro.
Yeah, thank you so much, Monster. Thank you so much, GGWP, for hosting
Yes,
this.
sir. Yeah, awesome. Big thank yous to them, and of course their sponsors and everyone that brought this to life. But all right, guys, check out JV Swish on Twitch. He'll continue to be doing his thing. That's pretty much going to be it from us here at the GGWP Academy. This has been an awesome session with all you guys at home. Big thank yous to anyone that sat through this, watched this. Hopefully you guys get to take home a lot of just different things, man. I want this to be as an opportunity, as an eye-opening opportunity to see perspective, because everyone has a different perspective. There's no right or wrong way to do it. There's just, I'd say, sometimes there's more efficient methods of going about doing things, and maybe that could be all the difference for you at home, right? So hopefully we get to do this again sometimes. It's just the first time of my feature on here. I'm sure there'll be plenty more content coming out of GGWP Academy. But yeah, that's it from your boy MonsterDFace. Don't forget to check me out at MonsterDFace across all social media platforms. And yeah, trust, I preach what I do on here. I literally do everything we preach on here. So we'll see you guys on those other platforms. Peace, y'all. You guys have a great night. Robbie, you can pull it. GG's.